Alrighty, folks, I could sit here and yammer on all day about donation incentives and everything like that, but we got a speed run to do. I'm your host, Bonnie. That's not what's important. What's important is my boy, riversmccown, is going to run Final Fantasy IV, any percent, no credits warp, on the Super Nintendo, and he's got a fantastic crew with him. So, Rivers, let's go!
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Final Fantasy IV for the second straight year.
Woo!
We did lose our final spot this year, but I'm, kind of bummed about that. It's okay. Joining me today, we've got Inven to my left, Aexoden and Netara to my right. My lovely commentators.
That's us.
Anything to say before we start?
Words.
Actions?
Ready.
I'm gonna push the button.
It's a good button.
It's start of time.
Yay. Woo! Number one thing on my mind today is I want to shout out High Spirits. This run got in because it was a backup, and High Spirits couldn't be with us today. Obviously, he's greatly missed. He's a big presence at these events, and I would have rather him played than me, just because I know that he earned the spot. But here we are. We're playing Final Fantasy IV No CW. We're playing in Denver. Trans rights hype.
Hype!
Other than that, all I need to tell you guys is that I am, if you don't know, a football writer, and I combine the worlds of football and video game speedrunning. What that means is that I have 25,000 Blue Sky followers who've been told to donate and ask football questions. If you do not want this run to be football questions, you're simply going to have to donate. I'm sorry. That's just how it works.
Basically, what he means is that your donation comments need to be better than theirs. So step your game up, folks.
Come on, nerds. We need you.
Come on, Netara. You love talking about football.
Yeah, I learned how football worked this year. It's a PB.
Anyway, the reason we don't have a lot to do right now is this is an unskippable cutscene of about 7 minutes. The only thing important for the speedrun we're going to do is immediately walk out of the throne room later and pick up a tent. The tent is important for a big glitch.
Big glitch. So yeah, if you were expecting a glitchless run here, I really hate to disappoint you. You were in the wrong speedrun. This is not it.
This is not it at all. No.
Well, Rivers, you said you don't have a lot to do, but you know who does?
Who does?
Your boy.
Who are you again?
I got a $200 donation here from Wells. And the comment is simply, cry me a Rivers.
Nice.
We also have a $50 donation here from your girl, Lisa Rocks, who says, good luck, Rivers. Enjoy employing the fastest strats for this name, 24.
We made it. We made it to Baron.
I'm sure everything's going fine and nothing evil was amiss.
Nothing evil has happened. We did not just ransack a town and steal their crystal. Didn't happen.
Nope.
Don't worry about it. So one of the things I do want to talk about, though, Rivers did make an allusion to, we're going to be on a step route for this run. And we are actually already on a very specific encounter seed. We are on seed 91.
92.
92. 91 plus 1.
It's close enough.
Numbers are hard. Anyways, they're different seats, though. The point of this is, even though we're inside, there's still step route in certain rooms here. Most of the stepping is going to be fine, but Rivers will later have to take one extra step, which we'll explain when we get there. But what that means is Rivers is going to actually have 0 encounters until the first boss. It's a really good encounter seed that when set up correctly, you just have a nice walk. Monsters, what are those?
One of the more annoying parts of running FF4 is trying to get C92.
Uh-huh.
Thankfully, this was actually a pretty quick one here. The console cooperated, and we got it like the first 10 tries. But yeah, if you don't get this, you're looking at at least another minute or a minute and a half of a walk.
Yeah.
Here's that tent we're going to pick up.
Let's get it. Yeah, we did it. Good work.
Now, back to walking.
Yeah, really important.
How about back reading off some donations?
Okay.
Because your community is coming through in a major way right now. $5 from Leggy Starscream that says, hey, Hey, Netara.
Hey, what?
Love you.
Okay, love you.
Good luck, Rivers, on one. Good luck, Rivers, on one of the best speed runs around. Good luck not skipping leg day on those stairs.
There are stairs in this?
Whoa, what? Who's going to tell us?
We have $10 from Demarine, who says, Rivers, I was told to say something nice here. Thanks for being a cool friend, even if you are a Porum hater. Such a hater.
It's true.
We have $5 from Dravenheart.
Yay!
Who says, hi, Bonnie. It's your girl Draves here. It sure is. Hello, Draven. Cecil and I are totally here for Rivers' run. Here's a little something to ensure Rosa gets named Draves.
Nice. So Rivers just took the one step there. It only counts as one step because even though the floor he's walking on is counts as a step, certain items on the floor don't, like carpets, stairs, little chairs on the floor.
This little stool, yeah.
Yeah, so stepping onto it doesn't count, but stepping off of it does.
We're going to be trying to follow step out the entire run. No promises, of course. You never know what's going to happen, but
Yeah.
as we go along, those little weird step versus non-step delineations matter a lot as far as trying to force encounters or avoid encounters.
Especially because we might be on seed 92 now, but in 10 minutes, maybe less, we're going to be resetting the console, which resets the encounter seed. So we're hoping that we get a seed we really want, but we are going to be figuring out what encounter seed we are on live. So Aexoden here, the absolute pro at this, has all the tools ready, and it should be easy. It'll be no problem, right?
Of course not.
Yeah.
Rivers probably has it all memorized at this point anyway. So
Well, I do aim for a certain number. You have
Yeah.
to hard reset the console to do that. So that's like I'm taking some time to make sure that maybe I can get the seats that I want. And, it's a new console. It's a new console for this cart. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're definitely going to try.
Yeah, the consoles you use, the power adapters, all change these little values that we're trying to manipulate. So when you're in a new console, everything changes. The timings you had, gone. So
Bonnie,
is like-
this would be the cutoff for the Cecil and Kane names.
Okay.
And, if you have anything else to read, this is a great time.
I have a perfect donation for this unskippable cutscene. We've got a $200 donation coming in here.
Woo!
This one's from F. Coughlin.
Oh,
Is everyone here ready? Where do we start? Kane, you believe Rivers is doing another FF4 run? Make sure you get rid of your trash can, or else I'm gonna tell her on you to my lawn. I know you won't Cecil Vera in this run, but I know in the end, you can say you Rosa to the occasion. Be a pal, and make sure to pour, a drink or two before you're done. Hopefully Leviathan will pull you down into the ocean's eddies. Sorry, I know these jokes are getting rancid, but just take a deep breath and you'll keep your yin-yang in balance. I'd say you're going to have an edge on Zemus, but who is that anyway? To summarize, I just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting
counting on you.
that was almost worth $200.
So speaking of the step routes, Aexoden, what is the time difference between the best seed and the worst seed after we get up in this village, roughly?
well, now you're asking me questions I actually have to look up.
Yeah.
That's rough. I guess while you do that, Vonnie, can I get some names for Cecil and Kane?
You want them right now?
Yeah,
Who you want to name first?
Cecil.
Cecil, with $85 being the winner. It is going to be Baconator, capital B-C-N-A-T-R.
Now I'm hungry. I
So
think it's an A, not an 8.
It was supposed to be an A, not an 8. Lowercase a.
Excellent.
Yes.
The 8's pretty funny, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just how I'd spell it, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, give me Kane.
I don't need to tell you that this is all in capital letters here. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's the wrong one. No, Kane, I'm sorry. That is going to be capital M, capital S, capital K, and then A-I-N.
All right.
M.S. Kane.
MS Kane.
Got it. Well, that name's not different at all.
So the difference between the best seed on No Credits Warp and the worst one is only 82 seconds.
But we need all 82 of those.
We do.
The good news is, unlike No 64, the step route isn't super critical in this run.
No, all that matters in this run is avoiding back attacks and Zot. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, if you can keep it to there, you're solid. Thanks, Chocobo. Also, did anyone else know that Chocobo Forest was there? I didn't growing up.
So yeah, because of the C92, we'll get no encounters this entire time. It's a really nice, peaceful walk before you start the real run.
Yeah, we have our first boss coming up here. Generally speaking, like casually super easy boss, but there's still going to be tech going into this in order to keep it as fast as possible. This boss introduces the ATB system. We're not seeing it, but it is there. So we're hoping to get a good ATB start and to get our commands entered in quickly enough, ideally 7 hits, sound cue during the waiting. Boss ready. Let's see.
Good roll.
Like it.
Good roll. Good roll.
They did not eat their baconators.
There you go.
Hey!
Actual good roll.
The crit!
We'll take it. Okay, since we know it's going to be dodging, actually, I'll talk about it.
Yeah, this is the audio cue part.
Okay, so that was so we can send Kane up and not get a counterattack, which is such a waste of time. Rivers is also manipulating his inventory because he is doing an item duplication glitch immediately, and you're going to see him doing that a lot because a bunch of the glitching happening in this run is very inventory dependent, so he's going to take any chance he can to move things around.
Yeah, Final Fantasy IV, in your inventory, each slot is assigned both a value for what item it is and a value for how many you have. But whenever you clear out a spot in certain situations, it'll appear blank, but it still has that number attached to it, that item ID. We'll use it 3 different ways in the run, one to get a ton of money, one to help us get our inventory sorted for another glitch later, and one just because we like an extra fire sword at some point.
Okay, now, this is blink and you miss it. We've already started a major glitch. Usually you walk into mist, light it on fire, sadness. We don't got time for that. We need to do some shopping. So Rivers, he interrupted a turn, used a tent, convinced the game that he was actually one tile over. He has completed his duplication glitch. Gonna wait on this, the turning on the console.
Okay.
Okay. And now, because he did it again, he did a partial movement. He saved and interrupted. Game thought he was off it.
There's a lot happening here in this short little speck of run. So now, you know, this empty slot, I think it's worth a lot of money.
Yep. Just 3 million.
I'm going to use it to buy some dancing daggers, which you're not supposed to have yet. This has become kind of the main damage source of the first hour on the run.
So incredible.
And we're also picking up the tiara for later. The tiara is what keeps Rydia from getting destroyed earlier in this game. So very important pickup here. This one you can't skip at all. Change Rod you could debatably skip, but it's kind of it kind of depends on how you want to route this, and it's definitely safer to have it. And this is a marathon, so here we are.
Yeah, in this category, I don't like to skip it. In like Paladin percent, I don't need no Change Rod. It can stay there.
Yeah, Paladin percent, you don't need this at all. But
no, but Tiara is basically a non-negotiable.
Yeah, since we don't want to take any encounters, of course, Rydia is going to be stuck at level 1, 30 HP, and things hit a little harder than 30 HP can really manage without a good piece of mid to end game armor.
Even in the back row, which is where we're going to put her.
let's hope we got 42 here.
I'm sure it's fine.
You know, I happen to know this is a cutscene here.
What?
You do? Have you played this before, Bonnie?
No way.
One thing I want to mention before I get into all these community
Oh, hey, it's the
donations
fire wand.
pouring in. We are hard charging towards 80,000 for the marathon. So let's keep our eye on that. Let's get that going. That has to get hit during this run. No question about it. On to the community. $20 from Margaret Ann, who says, "Hey Rivers, which character is the friendliest?" Cecil, because he's such a great paladin.
You thought the jokes were done. You were wrong.
Good luck, friendo. I know you'll rock this run. We got $50 from Sonny Wrath 11, who says, "PPMA for Sid." Rivers, I can't wait for you to do an amazing job on this run. Good luck and kick Zero Miss's butt. We've got $50 from Chris that says, "Good luck, Rivers. #Thieves." We've got $10 from Wells that says heart for Vonnie. Aww, so sweet. And we got another $5 from Dravenheart, who says, hi, Vonnie, Rivers, and friends. Draves here to put $5 dues toward Rosa being named Draves. And that's actually a good opportunity. That's a good opportunity to talk about where we're at in that particular one. Right now, Draves is comfortably ahead there with $165. Bosa is behind at 55. Yang behind that one at 51. Rivers, tell us, when is the next cutoff and who are we cutting off?
We're cutting off Rosa, Rydia, and Edward after Water Hag.
Okay, so Rydia, this one's tight. Best Girl is in the lead with $101, right behind Laura with 100. Yomiko has 50. Tella has 26. And who else did you say?
Rosa, Rydia, Edward.
Edward right now. Asuka is in the lead with $200. All that gobbledygook I was talking about before is at 75. And Sleepy has 70. So those are going to be cut off in about maybe like 15 minutes or so. So you got some time there, but not a whole lot. Make sure you get in on those.
Hey, Vonnie, how would you pronounce that, though?
Lyra, I'll just say.
Okay, got it.
Because those are the only letters in there.
Okay, so we've recruited a small child. We definitely didn't just kill her mom by destroying her summon.
Absolutely not.
Fine. And
We're the good guys.
Yeah, we're the good guys. We didn't burn down her town either and then kidnap her. But we're trying to protect her, and she's mad at us for what I feel is obvious reasons. This fight, fairly trivial, but it is the first instance of us attempting to use run buffering. Every time we try to run in an unrunnable encounter, we're going to get a message at the top which says, can't run. While that is up, the ATB pauses for absolutely everyone in the fight. Any command we can get in while that is there kind of skips ahead in the turn order. So the more we can use that, the better the outcome of a lot of these fights going forward are going to be.
And if you're wondering why I'm running away when things are fading, it actually saves a few frames every time you do that.
Nice.
So it adds up maybe over the course of this run to 5-6 seconds, but every 5-6 seconds counts, baby.
Yep.
We know for a fact so far from the encounters that we got that we are on seed 41 or 42. That is to be determined after the 10th cave. 42 is a really good seed. 41 is So, open for 42 now. We're going to go equip that TR on Rydia right away. Give our tiny child all the protection she needs.
And she needs it. Even with all this protection we're giving her, she can still get one shot in the boss coming up. But it definitely minimizes the chance. Don't forget to talk to Rosa, friends. Don't do it.
What do you mean, don't do it? I'm doing it.
Exactly. But I'm saying don't forget this.
Don't forget to do it.
Yeah, if you're doing it, don't forget. Don't go to the cave.
Anyway, she said don't leave, and then we left. We're the good guys.
We're the good guys.
You know who else is some good guys?
Yeah.
Who's
Good
that?
guys, good people, generally speaking. All these donors from the community.
Yeah, they are.
I've got so many more. We got $10 from Kobahi,
Yeah.
who says, yo, Rivers and Netara, Aexoden, and Inven, and Vonnie on the host. Good luck with the Final Fantasy IV one, and let's hope the back attacks stay away. Shout out to all the FF4 crew, past and present. We've got a $25 donation from Yelsrake,
Yells.
Hey,
who
Yels.
says, hi, Rivers. Do you think signing Kane the Dragoon could improve the Texans' chances of making a deep playoff run this year?
Couldn't hurt.
Best of luck.
Definitely couldn't hurt. They need someone who can jump a little bit.
Yep. We've got a $125 donation here from Rob Draven, who says, so we have Rivers, Netara, Aexoden, and Inven here, and there is some Final Fantasy IV. So I only have one question for everyone. Is this even randomized?
Is this even randomized?
Less than 3. Good luck on the run, Rivers, and Poexo on the Chrono Trigger run later, and let's get that Specchio. I've got $50 from Tina Hacks,
Tina.
who says, oh, hey, I know this run. It's the one that sounds bad when I make a mistake. Good luck, Rivers, and thank you to everyone who's worked so hard at putting this event on less than 3. We've got $25 from Konbanyao, who says, so excited to see FF4 back at RPGLB yet again and with my favorite category. Good luck, Rivers, and may all your birds be good.
Yeah, but here's hoping.
We've got $25 from Eldonia,
Hey.
who simply says, "Oh yeah, baby girl."
Oh, yeah, baby girl.
And we also have a $200 donation. Woo. And this one comes from our dear friend Bahamut X, who says, "Life percent has kept me from being able to enjoy Limit Break in person this year, but I didn't want to miss this run. Good luck on your run, Rivers."
Thanks, Bahamut. Miss you too, buddy. All right, I'll round 41 or round 42.
Yeah.
That's very
Fish
good.
came through.
Thank you. So at this point, we're just walking all the way through this cave. We picked up an old guy who's like, "Hey, I'm trying to get through this cave to, be a bad parent, but there's a monster at the end. Can you help me?" And we're like, "We love bad parents. You must be a good person. We're good people, so
We're
you
very
come
good.
with us. We're great people, so come with us." So we're on team, definitely the good guys still.
We do the right things around here. That's
Always.
what matters the
Yeah.
most.
He also gets so excited. He's like, "You wield the dark sword? Yeah, that's what I'm looking
I
for
love-
in a teammate."
I love the dark
Perfect.
sword,
Maybe
As
we
a-
can find a better one along the way.
right?
That'll make you even better.
As a Dark Knight main, I approve this message.
Should have known the 14 run would come up
You
at some point.
cannot stop me. So this is the only chest we're actually picking up in here. It has one of only 3 sword upgrades. Like Cecil, Dark Knight Cecil literally has 3 swords in this run. And so it's one of 2 of those. And if we skip it, the damage just really bad. Plus, the next boss is weak to the element on that sword. So it is really in our benefit, and it's worked into the step route to pick up this sword. You're seeing Rivers take extra steps
Too many?
here. I wasn't coming. So
We might be off.
we'll find out soon.
I fat-fingered the
It was an unexpected walking pattern.
push. Yeah. Yes. We were off, yeah.
Darn. So there are going to be points in the step route where we're going to take extra steps, certain particular routes, in order to manipulate how many steps. If you take extra steps on spots which either have no encounters or reduced encounters, we can kind of skip encounters we don't want or manipulate to get better encounters, which is what that was. So we were a little off on the step route, but one of the reasons that Aexoden is amazing, he's going to do some magic on the fly and fix this for us.
It's okay. You guys wanted me on the couch longer anyway, right? So
Yeah,
here we go.
exactly. It's great. So, Octoman, at the beginning, fastest boss in the game, which is really scary considering he can just one-shot our
And do that.
our major damage dealer. That dancing dagger we picked up earlier, when equipped by someone who can use it and then used as an item, it actually does a really powerful magic attack. So that was a low roll, and it's still higher than what anyone else is doing, generally speaking. So we do not want her to die. We are going to do a few hits with Tella, and then we're going to kind of get him out of the way. How we're getting rid of these arms, it's 3 hits to get rid of the first one, 2 hits for every arm thereafter. Every arm that Octomam loses, boss gets slower, less hits, extra good. So if this is all put in well, which Rivers is very good at, we're going to get multiple times where we get to do a bit of inventory management, which, as mentioned earlier, is especially important for this run. We're stopping Tella because he has outlived his usefulness for this fight. The time it would take to input his commands would actually do less damage than just stopping him and getting him out of the way.
He'll come back at the very end,
Oh yeah, he'll be great.
just for safety's sake.
Yeah, just to say hi. Okay, we like that. Terror.
How's the route looking?
Well, if it was 4 steps, is that what you thought it was? Or-
Yeah, I think it was 4 steps.
I mean, take the 4 and extra in Damsian and
Alright.
lose like 11 seconds.
Okay, no worries.
That's it, run over.
Wow, you give up so quickly when we're just so evil, Netara.
Yeah, I know. You know what? You're right. I have to believe in the heart of the evil cards. So I'm going to go with it.
The Cardinals are evil. It's true.
How could you do this to me? Yay! Yay! So another reason why it's important for Rydia to live here, outside of the fact she was our main damage dealer, is every kind of level she gets, every fight we complete at this point gets her extra levels, which gets her extra HP, which gives her extra survivability as one of our main damage dealers for the beginning of the run. So this is good, and we like it.
Oh, right on there.
That's rude. Oh, the fabled 8-pack.
That's right.
Haven't seen that in a while. We talk about that being a scary one, but it's good. So yeah, you know how we absolutely did not, wreck a town and steal their crystal earlier? Well, we spoke back in Little and we were like, hey, maybe we shouldn't have done that. Got promptly fired, demoted, and then kind of fired. And now they're continuing to do it. So the Red Wings, they're just like, no, we're gonna torch this place, and we're like, we needed those people. Tell his daughter.
That's 6 extra.
6 extra? Okay.
Okay. Tell his daughter is supposedly here. We're gonna save her from marrying a bard.
1, 2, 3.
So we kind of got some cutscene stuff going on here, don't we?
But it's the most important cut.
Yeah, we
It
need
is
this
the
one.
most important cutscene. I've got some donations I want to read off here, though.
Okay.
We've got a $101 donation from Alexa LaFay,
Alexa.
Yay!
who says, Hi, RPGLB. Good luck on the run, Rivers. Hoping that the RNG is kind to you, and bless him, Moon. And we have a $200 donation from Cubs Rule 21 that simply says, You Spoony Bard!
Now you're gonna notice that Rivers is pausing here. The reason for that is part of the big magic we're gonna be doing later looks at the in-game time. So at any point that we can, we're gonna be pausing, and this stops the in-game timer, but not what's happening. As long as we unpause to let the message finish, it'll just keep going and do its script, and we're fine. So this is this is actually needed manipulation. Vonnie, the floor is yours.
Fantastic. We got a $10 donation from Neon Gray,
Yay!
who says, Hey, I missed the very start of the run. Did they ever tell us why the monsters keep increasing? Love you all and good luck. We have a $100 donation from Lisa Rocks, who says, I don't know how to pronounce this name, but it must be Edward's name. And we have another $100 donation. It is also from Lisa Rocks, and it just says, gobbledygook. We have a $200 donation.
Woo!
This one is from Velociraptor42, and it says, Good luck, Rivers. Glad to see FF4 in the marathon once again and to be able to witness it live. Oh, and popcorn emoji.
Thanks, Rap.
We have a $10 donation from Leggy Starscream that says, Have you heard of the critically acclaimed RPG Final Fantasy IV now with a free walk-up to Mist Cave, including the award-winning categories No CW and No 64 with no limitations on playtime?
Whoa! I'd subscribe.
Good news. You don't even have to. You can just buy the
Oh,
card.
heck yeah. I have one.
And we have a $50 donation, and this one is from Moonblaze Wolf.
Yay.
Blaze.
And it says, Had to donate for the game that got me into RPGs and speedrunning. Good luck, Rivers and crew. You are all some of my favorite people, and I'm so glad to be here to see the run in person this year.
Woo.
So while we were donating, there was a lot of violence going on. If you guys noticed,
It was totally
we're the
fine.
good guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Tella missed all 4 swings. There wasn't that much violence.
And honestly, we told Tella, hey, Tella, you shouldn't do a revenge or something. And then he literally somehow, frail old man, bodied Dark Knight Cecil out of the way. Love that for him. And went to go do a revenge, which, have fun. So there's very little that we're doing in this cave other than trying to get through it. I'm unsure
Alright.
whether...
Not done this correctly. That's okay.
Okay, cool.
We can fix this quickly.
Okay. There is an opportunity for folks here to pick up a safety life. It isn't necessary, but for some of us, there's some scary bits coming up. So this chest we're passing here does have a life in it. River's going to get it. He's like, no, we didn't.
No, this has already gone off the tracks
Yeah,
enough.
you're
It's
just
okay.
like, I need it.
It's fine.
Most of the time you don't need it, but if you don't pick it up and suddenly someone you need dies, you're just like, why didn't I pick up my safety life?
So one thing I do is I try to manipulate the back attacks early in the game. I basically just have buttons that I hold while the battle loads, and that gives you usually consistent input. Sometimes here or there it goes off. But when you lose the right encounters, which we've lost by having the 2 extras, it doesn't actually matter that much. And so you can just get owned. So yeah, safety life.
Yeah, really important. So you know how I talked about 1 squishy main damage dealer? Well, now we have 2. And so Cecil Baconator there is going to do a great job of looking good. And the other 2 are going to do the solid work because...
I don't think he's doing a great job.
No, listen.
Have you seen what this guy's been
He's
up to?
trying his best. Sometimes that's all we can do. Yeah, it's great. Listen, your best doesn't have to be good. It can be evil.
He's living his best Dark Knight life.
Yeah, exactly. So thankfully for us, Edward, who normally is, again, not very useful, can use a dancing dagger. And Lion, one of the first in casual scary bosses, because every time you hit with a physical attack, counterattacks with quite a damaging attack. But dancing dagger used as an item, that's a magical attack. So we just tell Baconator to have a Baconator and let the other 2 do their work.
4 dagger, depressing.
Yeah, we can get it in 3, but game said no.
Actually, that was close enough to where we could have maybe done it with a sword swing, but I never loved doing that in a marathon.
Feels bad.
Folks, I'm going to jump in here because I know we're going to be cutting off a few naming incentives
Yes.
in just
Pretty
a few
quickly.
minutes, so I want to get you an update on those. Let's start with Edward. Gobbledygook is in the lead with 285.
How do you pronounce that one?
Yeah.
Lyra is what I determined.
Lyra,
And that's
okay.
final. Behind that is Asuka with 200, so still some time there. Rosa Draves is still in the lead with 165. Bosa is the one most closely trailing. That has 55. And then it's tight with Rydia. Best Girl is at 101. Laura is at 100. And Yomiko is at 50. So if you want to get in on a snipe there, like I said, you've only got just a couple minutes left here.
It's real close.
As soon as he gets back into Kaipo, we're going to hit Naming Way, and we're going to do that. Also, Rivers, I'd like to compliment you on taking the correct path here
Excuse me?
out of the end line.
Excuse me? Would you like to come down and say that?
You just had to say it right before the back attack, huh?
I think you do that. So the step routing, we're talking about how particular it is, but one of the neat things about this cave is there's a top path and the bottom path, and it's the exact amount of steps. And there's a huge debate.
It's a huge meme. That's a huge meme.
It's a huge debate.
We're a community of memes. Let's just be honest about
Okay,
it.
you're right. It's true. But it is a huge debate meme about which is the correct path, and I'm sorry to say Bonnie is wrong.
I can't agree with you, Netara.
I know you can't. Why am I here? Can I go? But yeah, they're exactly the same. It's purely aesthetics. So we are parking on the left here because this doesn't work in the Pixel remaster, but in this version, what side of Kaipo you're on, you can actually, as you're leaving, leave on the left side or the right side, and you will appear on the applicable side. It's really helpful. Rosa tried to cross a desert, got sick. We got her a sand ruby, which came from Antlion. Don't question how. We don't want to know. And now she's better. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, she's better, and she immediately wakes up and starts saying, hey, little girl whose village burned down, don't you know how to use fire? We're the good guys again. We're the
Yeah.
good guys.
We're the good guys. The little girl's like, no, I don't like fire. And Rosa's like, we'll see about that. I got some lessons. But she does actually come with the information that the Red Wings, the group that's cut off now, right?
It'll cut off at the fight. Yeah.
At the fight, okay.
So you've got maybe about a minute or so to get those snipes in. Get them in now.
Yeah.
Like now.
Real close. So yeah, she came with the information that hey, Baron, they're going to steal more crystals. They're going to go to the next town over, Fabul. So we're going to try and help them, but we need a nap first. And Edward needs some existential crisis.
Oh, but everybody needs that, right?
As a treat, exactly.
And it's also the first but not the last time that Cecil's like, no, I'm not taking you with me. And we're all like,
Bet.
white mage. White mage.
Cecil should not be the leader. He is not the smart one.
No, Rosa should be the leader, obviously.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
100%. Edward, actually hit them, please. So since we have the dancing dagger on, and he's in the middle position, which is the highest accuracy position, he essentially has 100% accuracy right now, which is great because without this glitch and without having that, we have literal video proof of Waterhag and Edward missing each other for turn after turn after turn.
It's great for speedrun.
Yeah, it's super good.
It's notable that in the Japanese version, the harp is not considered a back row weapon, so Edward doesn't get to take advantage of that glitch. That also applies to the PlayStation version, probably the Pixel Remaster.
That's terrible. Yeah, there's a glitch we'll also be taking advantage of, which when you equip a back row usable weapon on someone, even when you take it off, the game is like, no, you're good. This weapon said you're good in the back row, so you can then give them a weapon which is only good in the front row, and it's still good in the back row. It's great. We love this game. It's totally good.
No glitches involved whatsoever.
Okay, so if those names aren't cut off, they need to be now.
Yep. And Edward was wandering through the desert,
All right.
looking to the naming way, trying to beat the NBC, and he didn't do it.
He didn't do it.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. One last refresh here. What do you want first?
Give me the terrible one.
Oh, okay. It is /, capital L, colon, capital R, %, capital A.
They were literally doing science on this last night to see where the furthest things away from each other were.
Rydia?
That is high-level trollage I can get behind. Oh, Rydia is going to be best girl. Capital B, ST. No, capital B, lowercase s and t.
Okay.
Capital G, lowercase r and l.
Good. And then Rosa.
I am delighted to say that Rosa is going to be named Draves.
Yay! Go Draves! We miss you.
Is this a good time for me to come in with a couple donations here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Very
I'm going to do a
good.
safety save.
Okay. We've got a $100 donation from Just Joe that says, gotta get that mac and cheese. It's for a great cause. And we have a $200 donation.
Nice.
Woo! Now, this one is from an anonymous donor, but it does say, looking forward to the Final Fantasy IV and Chrono Trigger runs. Thank you to everyone involved in this event.
So we are parking the hovercraft exactly in that position. It can be parked nowhere else. I will be taking no questions at this time. It's definitely not important.
It's just a rational place to park the hovercraft.
Yeah, that's
Natara. I don't know what
it's
you're
just
talking
really convenient.
about. Anyway, we're going to coerce this little girl into casting fire.
Yeah.
We're the good guys.
I wish that Draves would give a slightly better pep talk. Can we not convince her maybe to cast Nuke or Quake?
Yeah, right?
This would also get rid of the eyes, right?
Exactly.
You would think so. You would really hope so.
So we're re-traumatizing this poor child, and she's never going to use this spell again. We're just like, yeah, it's good. Yeah, you did it!
Congratulations. We will never use Fire 1.
Nope. And if you actually keep her long enough to level her up further, she does learn future fire spells, just not Fire 1.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
These are some of the most nervy encounters in the game.
Yeah. As we go on through this run, encounters
Here
get
for it.
tougher, they get a higher chance to back attack or to do big damage, so it's where the step routing can really come in handy, but we're going to manage, we'll be fine.
We only have the one life potion right now, which is why this is kind of what matters a lot.
Yeah. The wrong encounter and the wrong hit? Scary. Okay, we're good then.
Okay, we are on the expected step route now.
Good.
Awesome.
Now we got to pull up Yang versus Imps.txt and see if we're going to get some bad damage rolls or good damage rolls.
So the fun thing about this fight is we have actually had the information on how to manipulate it. We have no control of Yang, but we do have control of the pause button. So if the damage values come up and we're like, this can be between a 3 to 5 turn fight, and we obviously want 3 turns. So we see the initial damage values, and we'll know whether we need to pause and buffer the fight or not to manipulate that, or whether we can leave it. Easy, every time.
May all of Yang's fights go that well.
Yep. Okay, so Lyra here, gonna be GOAT.
320.
Nice. We're trying to do 800 damage.
450.
Okay. 800 is what we're looking for, so we can phase change.
500. This looks good.
Good.
Yeah.
Nice. Easy. So now we want to get back to, we're holding on to Rosa just in case, but ideally we're going to end here with Yang. We're going to time it because Mom Bomb is going to phase change again in a moment. Okay, we're waiting for that. That lines up the kick, so as soon as she explodes into the 6 bombs, Yang will come and kick them all. Did that?
She would have survived.
Well, you know, you did the cure 1 to make sure, because again, we want to get these bombs gone as soon as possible. Gray bombs, if you don't do enough damage, they are going to explode on you, and it's going to hurt a lot looking at those HP values. But if we kill them all quickly enough, not an issue.
That's fine. Perfect hit.
No, it's good.
That bomb control you pretty bad if it kills, especially Edward or Best Girl. I'm not going to attempt to say Edward's real name.
Yeah, so in the same way we wanted to keep Rydia alive earlier, keeping both Rydia and especially Edward alive during that fight are important for, again, that experience, because we're going to be using Edward for a really fun set of encounters coming up next, and him having as much HP as possible, really important. Up now.
One of the big reasons that we step out is this whole sequence here. This is a long walk, a lot of terrible encounters. We get 1 encounter on this walk, by the way.
Nice. Well, that means, hey, Vonnie, what's up?
What's up? It's a whole bunch of donations I got to read off here. We've got a $50 donation from Shiva Caller that says, so excited to be attending RPG LB for the first time and getting to watch one of my favorite games of all time get speedrun. Thank you to all the runners and folks behind the scenes donating to see that new Specchio fight. And that's a reference to a donation incentive for the Chrono Trigger run that will be following this one. Needs $3,000. It's currently at $1,307. So that's where we're at with that one. We've got a $50 donation from Seb that says, joining the football versus speedrunning war on the side of speedrunning. Though do also love your football work, Rivers, and good luck on the run.
Thank you.
We've got a $10 donation from Crack Troop that says, everybody now, Rivers, Bo Bivers, Banana Fanta, Bo Rivers, be my Bo Bivers, Rivers. And we also have a $100 donation from Nancy Stetson that says, what a wonderful commitment you have made to help others. Thank you. Well, thank you for contributing to helping us to raise money for the National Alliance on Mental Illness. We literally couldn't do it without generous donations from folks like yourself, so thank you.
So we're heading in now to the Fabul Gauntlet. In another really smart move by Leader of the Year, we're going to leave the 2 ladies behind. The only
Who needs 2 dancing dagger throwers? That's just redundancy.
Yeah, exactly. Who needs an extra dancing dagger or any sort of healing? There's so much fun coming up with these fights. So it's 6 fights. We are going to have boss music playing. But unlike the wonderful tunes we're hearing in our ears, the game actually considers these encounters to be random encounters. Why is this important? Well, Edward, our good damage-dealing pal here, has a special ability called Hide. When he goes into critical HP, he is going to automatically hide. That doesn't happen in boss battles. He will never auto-hide in a boss battle. But guess what, friends? These aren't boss battles, they're random encounters. So if he gets the wrong hits, he's going to hide, and our damage dealer, gone. Ideally, he just straight up dies if the bad happens. And then at least he's not taking up turns where we have to say, no, just stay hidden, whatever. But the best case scenario, he stays alive, he keeps hitting, 6 encounters, easy. Run buffering is really going to come in handy here because, again, we want to kill as many of these enemies before they get hits off and can hit our dear Lyra here. Fights like this, we have some specific targeting, channeling weaknesses, and just hoping we get some friends to go away. Thank you for that one.
Hey, wow, look at that.
Yeah, both Yang and Baconator have a terrible chance of
they're
having
both terrible.
They're just
terrible.
But they sometimes have real noodle arms here, and
Yeah.
you're like, no, please, we're begging you, just a little bit of damage.
Baconator has done as little as 11 damage on a swing
Yep,
to the guards.
and think how low that would be if we skipped that sword in the previous place. Don't do it, get the sword.
That water hag had like 48 HP, so
Yeah.
Baconator was just barely doing what he needed to do.
Yeah.
Close.
And you'll note that Rivers is
Ooh. Nope.
Well,
What?
had swapped over to just swinging with the dancing dagger instead of using it as an item. It's a shorter animation, and Edward theoretically was strong enough to start one-shotting, but the fighters had opinions.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, this is not great, but it's totally doable. The reason reverse safety saved at the beginning is because it is possible that happens in the very first fight, and then you're like, nope, we're not doing that. We're going to re-walk in and try again. But thankfully, at least they waited till the third fight, so this is still doable, but it is going to be a tiny bit slower.
It's going to be annoying. Is what
Yeah.
it's going to be.
Yeah,
I've got to do the dupe of Yang still.
Oh, yes, yes. So we're doing fourth fight here. Special thing about that, we have to do an item duplication glitch with Yang. But we also have to kill this gargoyle in enough time, otherwise it's going to use weak on us. And that's going to be even worse. Usually one dancing dagger, easy. Thanks, bud. You did it. You came back.
I can't help but feel like if Edward's name was actually intelligible, none of this would have happened.
Probably true.
There's no way. The name is perfect. No flaws. This is fifth fight, so...
At this point, I'm just bringing him out to ATB buffer, basically.
Yeah.
He has no purpose anymore.
He's just running in going, nope, and running right away. Which honestly, moot. And then he trips. You're like, come on, bud. So last fight, HP values are good enough for our team that we should be fine.
We'll be fine.
Yeah, we're good now. Again, annoying, but we're safe at this point. That wasn't nice, but who knows? Come on, hey, Yang. Nice! That was a good hit.
Yang's brought the Wheaties today. I gotta give him
We
credit.
love that. Thank you, Yang. Because we haven't renamed him yet.
Probably, yeah.
Get those naming donations in.
Once we rename him, you know, XG649 or something, they'll start hitting like crap in the back half of the game.
Amazing. So the Bull Gauntlet proper is done, but we do still have one fight left. The aim in this fight is to get Baconator dead as soon as possible. We cannot win this fight. It is basically a scripted fight, so we're not going to try. Yeah, nice, nice. Easy. Yeah, sooner we can get him into that critical, the sooner the story plot goes, and we can keep moving. Also, still the good guys.
So I have good news.
Okay.
We've upgraded from still the good guys to like actually kind of the good guys.
I don't believe
Now
it.
we just suck at it.
Are we the less... are we the bad guys and they're the worst guys?
I mean, it's possible.
Yeah.
It's hard to really tell. Like, how heavily do you weigh the redemption arc? I don't know. But yeah, as you can see, we're really bad at protecting this crystal and Rosa and
Rosa. Bye.
pretty much anything. Bye, Draves.
Bye. Also, Gomez's armor, it looks like a dog's face. You're welcome.
And the only one with any competence at all left is Best Girl.
Yeah. It's true. And she's 7, by the way. 7 years old and is smarter than these adults. Come on, y'all. You got to step up.
So yeah, this is another long cutscene. Vonnie, you got anything to read?
Yeah, so Netara had mentioned naming incentives, so I want to talk about that. But before I do, I want to read a donation here. It's a $50 donation from V-Dog that says, Matt's a true homie. Miss you, fam. That one was put toward the naming incentive for Palom. Right now, Matt is in the lead with $385. Closest one to that is Mac with $310. For Porum, in the lead now is Kyoko with $200. Closest one to that is Cheese with $125. We're also going to be renaming Tella. Right now in the lead is Lisa Rocks with $85. Closest to that one is Rosa with $25. And then for Yang with $305, Crumps is in the lead for that one. Palom being the closest one behind with $56. That cutoff isn't going to be for probably about another 20 minutes or so.
25 minutes or so.
25 minutes. But that doesn't mean you dawdle there. You want to get your donations in, especially because I keep looking at this number here in the bottom right-hand corner. It is getting closer and closer to $80,000. So let's keep making that push. Let's get there, and then let's keep going.
Yeah, y'all, that is totally doable. Absolutely within this run. So Rivers here is doing some inventory management, some equipping and such. Really important to do it right now. Nothing's going to happen to our party, I promise. I'm lying. Something's about to happen to our party. So we're completing the item duplication glitch, which is one of the most important glitches we're going to be doing here because it is one of the many steps we are going to have to take for the end game of this run. We are putting our third and final Dark Sword onto Cecil. It is going to help us less with damage and more with the encounter rate and our own ability to run away from it in the future fights. And did we take anything off Rydia while I wasn't looking, or are we good?
No, we're just leaving the tiara on her.
Okay, she gets to take the tiara and be totally fine.
See ya.
Bye.
I mean, nothing's going to happen.
No, we're good. Also,
Absolutely.
everyone say hi to the not yet named Sheila or Yang's wife. Hi.
Anyway, we're going to go on a rescue mission. It's going to go very well because we're the good guys and we're
Yeah.
competent.
Speaking of being the good guys, though, we got a little debate coming up here.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, we do. So Cecil, he's a Dark Knight, and he's really working hard on redemption. He's good now. He promises. But we're going on a little boat trip, and we're going to have a little incident happen in a moment. And
Hey, no, this isn't going to happen this time.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Okay, sorry. I've been told the incident's been canceled, so
Yep.
don't worry about it.
We're making it right to
Okay,
Baron this
okay.
time.
But for all previous incidences, we're gonna have a little. We would have an incident where poor Rydia or Yang, sorry, is gonna go overboard. Now, what I need you to tell me, donate and tell me, did Yang jump off to save poor Rydia who fell off? Or was he pushed off in a final act of true evil by Dark Knight Cecil? The incident won't happen this time, but if for some reason it does,
Oh, no, it's happening.
let us know. Oh no, it's happening! Weird.
Is this even randomized?
Yes, this is even randomized. So let us
Yeah,
know,
right?
everyone.
You know, if Cecil is pushing people off of normal ships, I wonder how many crew he's lost in the Red Wings. Similar
No!
acts of treachery.
Oh no!
It's a long way down.
How did you do this?
Anyway, we're the good guys.
Yep. Totally. Yeah, at least it's a boat, so we're stepping up from pushing off airships. Inven what?
Slightly better.
I mean, you're the Dark Knight, man. Isn't this like part and parcel of the whole gig?
Shh! Don't tell them.
So there it is.
There we go.
Well, did he jump or was he pushed? That is
Yeah.
the community meme du jour.
Yeah, one of the many. Edward being super smart, going flat on the ground, being like, "No, I'm weak. You're not getting me. I'm using physics."
I've always considered it a push because he's jealous that Yang will do more damage, but
Yeah, I'm definitely on team push.
Can I
Speaking
jump
of-
in here with a few donations?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Speaking of pushing, why don't you push them?
Will do. Yes, indeed. We have $35 from Scythe Marshall, who says, "Good luck on the run, Rivers. I'm glad you're going to walk up a bunch of stairs so that FE players will know what to do in the upcoming tournament.
Good luck.
what's an FE?
I hope you're taking notes.
Shout outs to Aexoden for the FF4 disassembly and Inven, Netara, and Vonnie for being wonderful folks." We have a $10 donation from Mizuki Bara, who says, "Vonnie and Netara, I thought we had agreed you weren't rivals earlier this week. I don't
Gotta go.
remember ever agreeing to that. So much love to all of you at Limit Break." And we have a $25 donation from Gramora, who very predictably says, "Good luck on the run, friends. Make sure to burst Rydia. I mean, best girl."
Thanks, Gamora.
The beep boops are gone.
They'll come back. We'll get a few.
Yeah, also, listen to the Mysidia theme. It beep boops you. You're welcome. I'm here to curse all of you, and you're so welcome. Yeah. So, a fun part about this part of the story. So, we all got knocked overboard. We woke up next to the tent we definitely didn't ransack early, right at the beginning of the run. So, they're very understandably really mad at us. And so we're like, "Hey, Elder, can you help us? I need to get to Baron. I need to find my friends. I need to stop these people and maybe save the world." And he's like, "No! You just burned us down and stole our crystal." And we're like, "Please?" And he's like, "Okay, fine. If you go to this mountain, which no one has ever conquered, and become a paladin or go talk to the top, we'll talk. We'll help you." And you're like, "Okay, sure, whatever." And he's like, "Okay, and take these 2 5-year-olds with you." You just, what? Okay, bud. Parent of the year. Guardian of the year.
I wouldn't trust my kid with this guy, I'll tell you that.
Not my 2 5-year-olds.
I thought we were the bad guys.
Nice.
The city
Enjoyed
never-
that.
No, we're
Good target.
We're learning from this guy. He's going to teach us his ways.
Couple more donations if I could.
Oh my gosh, please.
We have got a $20 donation from legendary Knits Guy 1.
Yes.
And he says, shout out to MS Kane for doing work during the Fabul Gauntlet. Sorry he's gone. Good luck on the run, Rivers. And we have $100 from Miria, who says, here are 100 yows toward 80,000. Hi to everyone in the FF4 community, less than 3. And to that point, we are just a little over $1,000 away from hitting that mark. We still got well over an hour of run left here. We can do this. Come on, chat, let's go.
Great.
Let's do it.
Rivers can't get to the mountain yet, and both the kids are already dead. I don't think you're really doing the hero thing that well.
And he
I mean,
killed one of
Baconator
them.
sure isn't.
I was going to say, he killed one of them on purpose.
Why would I do that, Netara?
But there's no reason.
We're setting
need
up.
it,
We're
yeah.
setting up a glitch for the next boss, called the Mimic glitch, where we need Porum to start the fight at a little under 90 HP, ideally. So most of the time you can get away with just bopping her and she'll survive, but because we're playing it safe, we got the Black Sword on to start with.
Yeah.
And proc the swoon, which is something that sword can do, which auto kills. And so yeah, he just ruthlessly destroyed the other twin.
Yeah, because when we when we bring her back, she comes back with just enough HP. We're like, perfect. So we're actually going to be doing the Mimic glitch twice, ideally. I'm going to start explaining it now because it's a little detailed.
Yes, you should.
So, Mimic glitch. How this works, we have these 2 lovely twins, and they come with an ability called Twin Cast. The way the system works is you initiate it with one twin, and then the second twin gets entered into a Mimic status. So that's how they know, hey, I'm doing this ability now. We are going to take advantage of that by initiating the Mimic glitch with the appropriate twin. We're always going to start it with a Porum, and then we're going to kill Porum. So
Because we're the good guys.
we're the good guys. So what this does is we do Twin Cast, we kill her, but we do it in such the right order that Palom gets entered into a Mimic state. And he doesn't leave that Mimic state, but he has nothing to mimic because she dies, so Twin Cast doesn't happen, so he's not going to help with that. So he starts mimicking the people in the party and what they're doing. If you do this in a particular order, he will mimic the person you want, and we're going to manipulate that to literally throw items which are not supposed to be thrown or even used in battle to do interesting effects. The locations in our inventory match the locations of magic spells. So if we toss certain items, the thing goes, wait, this doesn't go here. What am I doing with this? And it looks at the magic list and goes, oh, it's actually this spell. So we're going to do some really, truly magical things with that. The first Mimic glitch is lovingly called the Carrot glitch. No reason for that.
And it has no correlation at all to the carrot we picked up earlier, I'll tell you that.
No, we definitely did not immediately get a carrot.
Okay. Let's do some carrot.
So I will note, though, we're going to be using this twice, once for Mylon and once for Mylon Z. The setup is similar, but also incredibly different for each fight. Carrot is a little more precise, so we're going to let Rivers do this.
No! We blew it.
Too early.
We blew it.
Yeah, so what happened there is because the lit went off too early, she needs to initiate the twin cast before the lightning starts casting. Otherwise, we can cast it, but the ATV won't recognize it, so it doesn't happen.
It's okay. It's better to blow it earlier than late because Palom is not mimicked, and we can just start wailing away with dancing daggers here. This is the easiest way to kill Mylon if you botch this glitch.
Yeah. We're using Cure 2s to get rid of the zombies. They're undead, so they're weak to that. And we're just dancing daggering, as mentioned, to Mylon proper. He really doesn't like that, but keeping the twins alive-ish.
Well, we want the one Ghast alive so that he doesn't start spamming lit 1 all over the place, for sure.
You know, I didn't actually know that.
Yep.
I just always kill them and just take the lit ones and cry a little when they hit the wrong people.
Yeah, they will hit the wrong people. I won't.
Yep. One of the safety strats is to unequip the tiara and before you lose Rydia, and then put it in on Porum, and that can help with the defense against the lit ones. Lit ones go from doing like 70 odd damage to just 1. Not so necessary for Kira, but that's okay because we're still going to have a second chance to do our Mimic glitch, which is usually called Trash Can. I'm not sure if we're going to do Trash Can or just use Carrots.
Oh, yeah, you bring up a good point. I don't want that up there, do I?
It's up to you. So, the Trash Can, as you may or may not know, is an item we use out of battle, completely just in the menu, to throw out items that we don't want. It's a good thing we're not going to need it later.
Go, my children. Go, my children. Go, my children.
You probably have time for a quick donation or two, or anything you want to say there, Vonnie?
Yeah, just want to remind you folks that after we get done with coming off the mountain, that's when a few naming incentives are going to cut off. That is going to be namely for Palom, Porum, Yang, and Tella. We are going to cut that off in probably about like 10 minutes or so, maybe a little longer. Reminders of what we got going on here. Palom, Matt's in the lead with 385, Mac behind at 310. Porum, Kyoko in the lead with 200, Cheese behind with 125. Tella, Lisa Rock's in the lead with 85, Rosa behind with 25, Yang Crump's in the lead with 305, and Palom at 56.
Okay, so we changed around the order a little because, again, how the Mimic glitch works here, timing-wise, is different than Mylon. So let's see how we go here. We're getting Cecil to do any action. Waiting for that to complete before we do. Targeting Porum. We're going to get, we're going to be stopping Cecil. Excellent timing, perfect on the twin cast. Next, we're going to have Cecil's turn come up. He is going to half use an item and then swap that item with the trash can. Palom is currently mimicking Cecil, who is stopped and won't actually do anything.
That should go. That should go.
So we should be good once we're done with these poisons.
The reason you'd rather use Darkness Sword is because you could avoid some of these.
Beautiful. And I want to note the carrot glitch earlier, that is 100% the harder of the two.
Yes.
Like, I don't even attempt it in my speedruns. I'm like, nope.
That's a world record strat that I just can't stop doing because I'm dumb.
No, you're great. And you recovered amazingly.
Goodbye.
So we knew this was going to be a back attack, so we purposely put everyone in the back row. Really helpful.
And now we're finally going to talk to the guy who makes us a paladin. Mm-hmm. It's heavily hinted that he's our father.
Yep. We talked to the rock at the top, and it's like, hey, come on in. I got shinies for you. And you're like, ooh, I like shinies.
Heavily hinted in that he outright says, like, my son.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can say that colloquially.
I mean, you know, it could be his, you know, Nintendo loved religion in the 90s. It could be about that. You don't know.
So, but just getting to the top of the mountain is not enough. Cecil has to prove that he's not a bad guy anymore. He's not a Dark Knight. He's overcome that. His hair is so shiny. He's good. Now, this is supposed to be a sit back, relax, prove you're a good guy. Don't fight the guy. You know, you've learned now.
We're really
But,
not about that life.
No,
You
we're
haven't
not.
noticed?
Because in this version, in the U.S. version only, Dark Knight Cecil only has 1,200 HP, and we have dancing daggers. So, bye.
We're 3 daggers around here, aren't we?
Are
Yeah.
we? Yeah.
Yeah, he has 4,000 HP in the Japanese version. For some reason, when they were reducing the HP for our benefit, they just decided, hey, this totally scripted battle needs less HP too.
It's fine. There's no way they'll find a way to manipulate that and actually not learn the lesson we're teaching. No way. Hey,
Bonnie, we've got some text boxes to mash through here if you've got anything to say.
We certainly do. I want to give a lot of love to. We got a lot of donors that came in here. Didn't leave any comments. I know we obviously wanted to talk about the community and things that are going on, but these donations all count very much as well, and we appreciate it. We got $75 from Miniar, $25 from an anonymous donor, $25 from Frith, $35 from an anonymous donor, $25 from Miria, $50 from Quinn, $50 from Joker, and $25 from Shuffy. Again, no comments there, but all of that money is all going directly toward the National Alliance on Mental Illness, and comment or not, we appreciate it all the same.
and now we walk down the mountain.
And now we come to the scariest part of the run.
Yeah.
Yeah, with ascending to Paladinhood, Cecil's level gets reset to 1, and your party level is included in the calculation of whether you get back attacked or not. And he's just a baby Paladin
He's
now.
just a baby.
So once again, we're good, but we're not very, good
we're
at being good.
Now we're not competently good as
No.
such. We're just babies. But Tella, coming up here, we met him on the mountain, and he's like, hey, yo, I'm still all about that revenge life. And we're like, you sure about that? He's like, yeah, I went all the way to the top, and I couldn't find anything, so I started walking back down. We don't know why the firewall was there at the beginning. Rude Tella, honestly. So now he wanted to learn the mythical spell Meteo. The twins were a little concerned. They're like, you're a little old. I think you're too frail to use that. He's like, kids, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm good.
Oh, good. We've got plenty of time for anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, now we got lots of time.
Like donations?
Yeah.
Lots.
Very good. All righty. We've got a $10 donation from Train Rainef, who says, good luck on the run. We've got a $5 donation from Corny Cecil Morty that says, thanks for the event this year. We'll watch runs I missed on VODs. Wonder shot! We've got a $5 donation from Leggy Starscream that says, pushed, no questions.
No questions.
Honestly, I'm surprised Dark Knights don't have a reverse rescue in 14, but I don't want to think about what Netara would do with that.
Don't worry. It would all be good. I would be not an evil person. Just trust me.
Yeah, lies.
Just trust me.
We've got a $10 donation from Phoenix Captain, one of our volunteers here, and he said, thank you for having me. It is a joy to volunteer with such an amazing group of people. Now we just need to learn to have an RPG LBBQ.
Where this chocobo leaves the screen is very important for the purposes of this run, so
Incredibly.
it's not the right direction.
No, that was completely bad.
Okay.
That was
That
100%
was-
red.
We're going to get another chocobo.
Yeah.
There are certain parts, to get through the glitch at the end of the game, we need that chocobo to leave the screen at a certain position, and it's kind of like kicking a field goal almost. There's like 4 posts on one side, 4 posts on the other side. You got to get right in the middle of them. And that chocobo was really bad.
Oh, that was right in the middle of them. Right in the middle of the post.
Yeah. Bonk.
Sometimes it can be hard to tell because it's like the top pixel that needs to not be in the red, but that whole chocobo was in the red bar. So that was not good. Rivers will have to pick up now another yellow chocobo at some point and release it and hope it goes to the right side.
Yeah, that'll be toward the end of the run.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump in here with a quick donation. It is a $300 donation. This one is from Just Joe, and it says, just trying to eat mac and cheese for charity, less than 3. Now, this is relevant for a couple of bid wars coming up. Naming Palom. Mac is now in the lead with $460. Matt is trailing at $385. Porum. Cheese is now in the lead with $275. Kyoko now the closest trailer at $200. So if you want to get those changed, You need to do it quickly because we're naming them in really just a few minutes, right?
Yeah, we got maybe 3 minutes to the fight here.
3 minutes. Okay, the time is now. If you want to get the snipe in, you want to do that. As a reminder, there's 2 more as well. For Tella, Lisa Rocks at 85, Rosa at 25. For Yang, Crumps at 305, Palom at 56. Get your snipes in now, folks.
Or forever hold your peace.
Forever hold your mac and cheese.
I'd like some mac and cheese right now, I'll tell you that.
Dude.
Couple more donations if I could.
Oh, yeah.
We got a $50 donation from Rizukun who says, why did you throw the trash can at Mylon Z? Where am I going to put all my hot takes now?
Now you're just going to have to tell us.
You're going to put them on first take?
Yeah.
So since you never used the safety life, would you say it was a free safety life or a strong safety life?
Strong.
Okay, so we found our pal Yang here, and we're like, Yang, you're okay. This is great. And he's like, perish. And we're like, what? We're good now.
Kind of. I mean, we're still bad at being good, but we're trying.
We're trying. He's a little bitter over being pushed, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So we kill these guards. Can be scary in other forms of the game, but here, no, they're good. We have dancing daggers. So this fight is scripted. I'm sure that Karate here has a certain amount of HP, but what he does have is a wonderful script, which is immediately after his second kick, any fight command from Cecil ends the fight.
Oh, he actually hit, dude. Too bad.
Nice, yeah.
It's funnier when he misses, and then he still says, ouch.
He's like, ouch. Yeah, you don't actually have to hit. You just have to
You hurt his feelings.
Oh, he felt bad on the inside.
Yeah.
So it turns out, actually, he's like, whoa, what happened? Where am I? He was being controlled. But he's like, oh, hey, I got this handy key right here. This might be helpful. He's going to find that in a minute. Spoilers.
Wow.
But I can say this in advance now. If you look at the little icon next to it, it looks like Jafar's staff from Aladdin. So look out for it. Okay, you probably have some time here, Bonnie.
Yep.
Oh, I think things are cut off, though.
Speaking of which, we had a snipe. It was a $200 donation, and it came from Wells, and it said Matt over Mac, and that was toward the Palom naming bid war. These have been cut off. I have final numbers. I will give them to you when you are ready.
Nice.
It'll be in 20 seconds.
Very good.
Delicious.
Keeping the inside thoughts inside.
Real quick, we had a $25 donation from an anonymous donor that said, had to donate during my favorite Final Fantasy game. Thanks for all you do. You all rock.
All right, what do we got, Donnie?
What do you want first?
Probably a Palom.
You want Palom? That is with $585 for it. That is going to be Matt. Capital A, lowercase A-T-T.
And then we got Tella.
Tella is going to be Lisa Rocks. So capital L, I-S-A, capital R, lowercase x.
Lisa the doctor.
Yeah, we're getting a prescription of Lisa.
Yep.
And Porum?
Porum is going to be cheese with a capital C.
We love it.
And finally, give me Yang.
Yang will be Crumps.
Popcorn emoji. Hashtag thieves. So now I'm going to do some shopping. I'm going to get headbands and karate are important for damage. And then over here in this shop, we're going to get a lot of things for no real reason.
Yeah, definitely no reason. We're getting 4 stacks of 13 cure rods. This is
You know, that's just how you buy things in this game.
Absolutely. That's certainly what I buy when I come here. They're really useful in free enterprise. No, they're not. Come to.
Look, if I want to spend my money on 72 cure rods, I'll do it.
Yeah, absolutely. But as you can probably guess, that is yet another step in our setup for the finale of this game. So,
Yeah, we will need some inventory items in specific spots to affect where some trigger tiles lead us.
Yep.
And those claws and stabs will be the guiding light, so to say.
I know you got some walking to do, so I'm going to pop in real
Good for
quick.
it. Go for it.
Nice.
The only naming incentive that we have left now for Final Fantasy IV is for Sid. Right now, PPMA is in the lead with $350. Cecil is behind it with $111. That cutoff isn't going to be for about another 20, maybe 30 minutes or so?
Probably 30 minutes.
Yeah, 30. Okay, so you got plenty of time on that one. But now let's start talking about what we've got coming up here. The next run and the final run of RPG Limit Break 2025. But before we do that, I want to read off a donation here. It's from Peace Egg, and it's for $50. And it says, let's get that heckin' Specchio fight unlocked.
Yeah.
Status update on that here. That needs $3,000. It currently has $1,622. So a little more than halfway there. So we want to make that push. And we also want to make a push to that $80,000. We are just over $500 away from hitting that milestone. We are getting close, folks. Let's get us even closer.
Bonnie, what does PPMA stand for? Do you know?
So also what we have coming up here.
Speaking of things
I'm
that
sorry,
are
what was the question?
What? There's nothing, it's fine. So what we're doing here is yet another one of our cool glitches. It's called the MP Underflow glitch. I know it might seem normal, but having Boomerang 06 HP, not generally intended. So what Rivers did is he wiped out Tella's HP, or MP, sorry, his HP, he doesn't have any. So he wiped out his MP, and then he hovered over a spell he did have the MP for, and frame perfectly pressed down as he was pressing A, so it tricked the game into being like, oh yeah, I'm going to select Cure 4. I have enough MP to use this. So we use it even though we don't have enough MP. Underflow, and now Tella definitely has more than 90 MP. By just a smidge.
Why is that important? I don't know. Oh, you have any spells? Oh, Meteor. Okay.
Oh yeah. Is there a spell they gave you
Very
which
nice.
is literally higher than the highest MP you will ever have? Shame we decided to use it anyways.
Notably, this does prohibit Tella from casting any spell outside of combat as long as he is underflowed, but media.
But Meteor, we don't need anything else. Yeah, Meteor is slow, but it is incredibly powerful. So while we do have access to it now, we are not going to use it for every fight coming up.
Actually, it winds up healing Dark Elf because
Yep.
Dark Elf becomes holy for some reason. But yeah,
Yeah, there's
it will get one more big use in
Yeah.
this run.
we have a few more boss fights, but yeah, we're not using Meteor for all of them because it's slow and like in Dark Elf could heal.
Yeah, Medio is holy elemental in this game.
Oh, it's the king. I bet he's a good guy, right?
Oh yeah, he's totally good. We're good, so he must be good. Wait, what's happening to the lights? Aw, heck.
Turtle King.
Turtle King. We have the next of our fiends, the Fiend of Water. He's a totally- So we're trying to do just a little bit of damage here. We're setting it up, so ideally, Elisa Rox here is going to use Lit 3, and which Kainaza is weak to, and we are going to end his day and this fight. Nice!
Very good.
That's the highest. That's the highest I've seen Tella do all week. He can kind of miss the ball there and do way under. So thankfully, we didn't have to do any additional damage to finish that fight.
This is where that change rod really comes in handy.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
The prescription from Lisa was death.
Yeah, Lisa, please don't prescribe me anything. Okay, hey Bonnie, what's up?
Yeah, we got a long stretch
Yeah.
of cutscenes here, Vaughn.
Yeah,
your
we
turn.
sure do. So what I want to do right now is I
Yeah.
want to send a shout out to the people that are involved with our foreign language restreams. Japanese restream can be restream, can be found at twitch.tv/Japanese_restream. And the French one can be found at twitch.tv/Le French Restream. Oh, shoot. And this is topical because I actually have a donation here that is in French. I will do my very best to recall what I learned from back in high school. It is a $20 donation. It is from Pepper. And it says, Parce que la santé mentale c'est important, prenez soin de vous. And what that means is because mental health matters, take care of yourself.
A great message.
We also have a $35 donation from Zombo Rombo with no comment. And we have a $50 donation from Sonny Wrath 11 that says we need to have the new Specchio fight. And where that is at right now is that is now up to $1,711. So we are inching ever closer to that, as well as that $80,000 milestone. I'm going to keep hammering away at this until we get there. Come on.
We've lost Matt and Cheese.
They're fine. Goodbye. They worked hard, but they did save us. We were about to get crushed by these walls, which, Sid, why did you install those in the first place? And
Because we're the good guys.
we're the good guys. And they worked together, and they're like, no, we're going to change ourselves to statues, and we're going to stop these walls. And they cannot be cured because they did it voluntarily. For now. TM.
The main story elements happening here as I'm just mashing is Kane being sent out to talk to Cecil about the fact that there's a shiny earth crystal that Golbez can't be really bothered to get. If you want to get it for us, that'd be great. Remember we have your girlfriend? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget about her. Sid proving once again that maybe he's not the bad guy. Hid away the airships. So it's like, oh, hey, actually, I made another better airship, and I locked it away. I just felt a little weird about things, so...
It really goes to show how unobservant everyone in the castle is.
Right?
You know, we have an entire airship hangar and dry dock to build a new one. No one has any idea where it is, and Sid apparently did this all single-handedly.
Yeah.
There's really no text and no flavor text. That's just like the assistants being like, hey, we're building an airship.
Yeah, right? So, one thing I do have to bring up here is there's a lot of mashing in this game. It's an RPG speedrun. Text boxes are a way of life. One of the really helpful things about Final Fantasy IV in general is you can use almost any button on your controller to mash, which usually is just like, great, I'm going to pick a button and do it. However, there are a couple of spots, one of them is coming up, where you do not want to mash with the X button, which is also your menu button. If you do that, you have a pretty strong chance of soft-locking your game as you come out of these cutscenes.
So I should do that.
Yeah, absolutely. When was the last time you saved?
For Mylon.
Yeah, you're fine.
We could throw the carrot
Hey,
again.
when you carried! Yeah, exactly, we're good. So yeah, don't mash X here. Or don't mash your menu button here, whichever you've got to decide. It's bad.
Cecil hanging his head in sorrow that he no longer pushes people off of airships. That would have been a real good opportunity to do
Right.
so.
Well, he still can. He's still got an airship. We tried.
Couple donations here are good.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like this one here. It's a $4 donation from Leggy Starscreen.
Uh-huh.
And it says FF4 train.
Yes!
Also, do you think the Baconator inspired Lisa to learn the almighty spell Meteor? And we have a $100 donation. This is from Arcturia, and it says, "Hi, can Inven on the couch please explain relative agility to me in extreme detail?"
Let's go.
Do it!
This is a joke. Hi, Inven, and hi, Rivers.
You know, I do love the name that we ended up with for Edward, because every time someone says his name, it sounds like they're cursing at him.
Yeah, right? He knows what he did.
He does know what he did.
He was useful. He threw dancing daggers. It was great.
Until the part where he got hit. That wasn't great.
No, that wasn't super. Not MVP this run, bud. So we have found yet another missing party member, and he's been convalescing here in Troria. And we need to go, and we're being blackmailed. We're saying, hey, yo, you want to have your girlfriend back? Bring us this crystal. And Troria is where it lives. But bad news for us, it's already been stolen. So we have to go steal it back. And the oracles, they were like, hey, the folks who rule Toria, they're like, hey, we'll end it to you if you can get it back. And we're like, bet, we got this. Oh, wait, sorry, don't forget, though, the cave where Dark Elf, the guy who stole it is, it's full of magnets. So if you have any metal on, you can't do anything. Good luck! We're like, oh, no. Okay, so getting our friend the black chocobo, can fly over water, must land in grass or in forest.
Forest.
You know, I think they're still having a hard time being the good guys, given that the clerics say, we'll loan you the crystal. You're like, loan, yes.
Yep.
We'll get it right back to you.
Yeah, we definitely won't lose it. It's fine. So this is another one of those long walks. I'll just mention back attack's not fun.
No.
Hopefully we do good because we have exactly one party member who is not paralyzed, and that is Sid. So if we get the wrong encounter, things can go a little not so nice in here. So while we're walking and praying, hey, Vonnie, what you got for us?
I got a whole bunch of donations here for the next run that's coming up, and we're talking about that Specchio in new form donation incentive. So I'll go through some of these here. We got $11 from Fardity Farfar, who says, good morning, RPTLB. Can't wait for the Chrono Trigger run later featuring the legend, Puexel. We've got a $75 donation from an anonymous donor that says, looking forward to my favorite game, Chrono Trigger. We have got a $20 donation from Frog on Unicycle Vape, who says, Puexo got me into watching speedrunning all the way back in 2014. I remember when he used to sing the opera in Final Fantasy VI. Best of luck to all of the runners. We have a $100 donation from Rizukun, who says, show Specchio who's boss. And we have a $300 donation. The donor is anonymous, but they have to say, thanks for putting on such a great event for a great cause. Donation towards Final Fantasy IV naming Chaos, and for the Chrono Trigger Fight Specchio in new form incentive, of course. And where we're at there, we have 1,715 out of the 3,000 we need there. So let's keep pushing towards that one.
Definitely doable.
So you may recall earlier in the run, we did yoink one piece of gear off of Kane that, why would you keep that around? It's garbage armor, and it actually saves quite a bit of time here because we're going to go from one person who's not paralyzed to 0.
Yeah, we want him paralyzed because the fight coming up, once again, we can't win it, or even if we win it, we lose it. So we want to lose it as fast as possible. And your whole party being paralyzed, easy way to do it.
Rip, I'll just get up.
Yeah. Oh no, run over! We're dead.
That's the second fight in the run that you've been very happy to lose and lose quickly.
So yeah, when you forget to take off that iron glove, you're like, oh no, I'm gonna have to wait to die. It's terrible. But Edward, he's doing his best, trying. He's like, oh, I can help. I gave you this this twin harp. Dark Elf don't like music, so I'm gonna play for you, and it'll play on the harp you have. I'm helping.
This music was lightly randomized.
Yeah. This doesn't seem very randomized.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
There are no refunds.
So real quick, we got a couple people who are feeling that Final Fantasy $4 train. $4 from Lisa Rocks, who says, Final Fantasy $4 hype train checking in. And we got $4 from Quest Moreland, who says, getting in on the Final Fantasy $4 train. Good luck, Rivers.
Wow, is there something you want to tell us, Vonnie?
Something I want to tell you?
Yeah. No, it's nothing? Okay, I'll keep talking then.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Well, I suppose I could tell you that we've hit $80,000!
So what we're doing here is we wanted to get a few strong hits in against Dark Elf, and then we didn't need Sid anymore, so we were like, bye, and we killed him. Not done being evil, I guess. We are doing a little bit of inventory management, but the cool thing about the second half of this fight is in the transformation, Dark Elf here becomes suddenly vulnerable to most of the status elements, including weak. which brings you down to single-digit HP. So we use Tella.
Crumb's hype.
Nice, look at that. One hit, done.
Really not the person you want to get weak there, but
No.
you'll roll with it.
Yeah, we're going to have certain folks dead at particular times to help with experience routing. We have anyone you recruit who is meant to come back, when they're not with us, are living in kind of a shadow party. So any experience we get for certain party members are going to help those people we don't have. So we are actually in particular leveling up one character, which we're going to get later. If done correctly, he will join us back at level 19, which is going to help us not have a really bad time when we fight Valvalis in a bit.
Speaking of character levels, that's a perfect segue into the next donation I have here. It's a $50 donation, and it's from Penguinator.
Penguinator! Noot!
And what my boy Bird has to say is, donation goes to the No Upco incentive. Start grinding your yang, Rivers.
I didn't know we put that one on the...
Just for you, Pengy. We got you. We had to get a black chocobo and park it out there because it told us it wanted to be there. This is part of our glitch setup. One of the many ingredients we need to do our magic later is parking a black chocobo. There's a little line of about 5 or 6 squares where we can park it, and we put it in one of those and then leave. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
These are extra steps to try to avoid encounters to save us in the Tower of Zot. We're going to need a lot of saving in the Tower of Zot, let me tell you.
Nothing bad ever happens there.
No, one of the scariest locations in this run. It's heavy on back attacks. You're low on gear and things. It's not a good time, potentially, so...
Will we be safety saving? Oh, yeah, we will. Yeah.
So the game compares your party's level with the average level of like 3 of the monsters in the group that's attacking you, and uses that to determine the rate of back attacks. And at this point, our level's getting a little low compared to what they expected.
We're heading into truly scary land. Not we're memeing, ooh, it's scary. No, it's actually, we don't like it.
No, this is actually tough.
Yeah.
Especially because we're off step route, and that means that we're going to get encounters that are even worse than usual.
Delightful. Okay. I think it's...
So, the Tower of Zot, just in the sky somewhere, apparently.
Don't worry about it.
Very, very well explained by the game.
That's where I put my towers.
What do you call your tower?
The Tower of... I don't know, gotta go!
I mean, it's definitely not the first Final Fantasy with some mysterious orbital station floating in the sky above
No
the planet.
way. No way, this is definitely the first.
Rivers, I've got a few donations I gotta read off here.
Okay.
$4 from Mizuki Bar says, choo-choo! Choo-choo! We've got a $50 donation from Quist that says, Adult Nerd Summer Camp Hype!
Hi!
And we've got a $44 donation, and this one comes to us from Wife of Rivers. And it says, no matter how many times I watch you play this game, it's always fun. Final Fantasy IV, hype! Hype! Your son and I miss you so much. Aww.
Missing my boy bad this week. But I still love Adult Nerd Fantasy Town.
So we're opening this trap chest on purpose. The item that it drops is one which is going to be very useful to us later. So useful, in fact, we are going to duplicate it and actually get 2 of them. We're like, one's not enough. We would like 2, please.
Yeah, so our first item duplication glitch gave us a number so big that it funded the purchasing for the entire seed. The second one gave us that huge stack of claws, and this one is the actual damage deal.
As I said, would be ideal if Cecil would have lived that house fight.
So thankfully he did live. We needed him to live. We really wanted him to live, and that was good. So River set up a single dupe. So there are multiple levels of the duplication you can do. In this case, it's a single dupe, which means we're just turning one item into 2. So we don't need a huge stack of fire swords. We just need 2 of them. So we're equipping it on him, taking it off, and putting 1 of them back on. Bonnie, you've got the floor.
Well, I want to talk to you about some of the incentives we've got going on here. Reminder, there's still one more for this current run, and it's naming Sid. PPMA is in the lead with $350. Behind that is Cecil with $111. For the next run that we've got coming up here, to fight Specchio in new form, we're over 2/3 of the way there. We got $2,115 out of the $3,000 that it needs there. Now, as a reminder, we also have some naming incentives for Chrono Trigger itself. You can name Chrono, Frog, Luca, Magus, Marl, and Robo, as well as the Epoch. So plenty of options there if you want to start getting in on some of those bid wars. A lot of these are pretty low. So if you wanted to make a strong case for some of these, like for Robo, for Marl, for Magus, Luca, plenty of opportunity here. So be sure to type in the incentives command in chat. And that is how you make sure that you can apply what you want your donation to go toward appropriately.
And folks, we're only 1,000 away from that fighting the Specchio in new form. I challenge you, we can beat this before the end of this run. Think about how happy, the smile on Puexel's face when he comes on and knowing that's already met. Easy time, no stress. Let's do it for him. Oh my gosh, this is terrifying.
Yeah, this is why this category is just such an annoying speed run.
Yeah.
You can be doing really well up to here, get 3 or 4 back attacks, and it's over.
It is done. So we did reapply the MP Underflow on Tella. We needed him to do other things prior to this, but we need it now because we have the Magus sisters, and I hear rumors they do not like big fire rocks. So we are going to make Baconator cover Tella, which means any physical attack, only physical attacks though, that head directly towards Lisa, they are going to get hit. They're going to hit Baconator instead. Wanted to do some item management, but it is much more important that we keep Tella alive. Meteo is slow, and that gives our Mega Sisters here plenty of chances to hit and be a bit of a pain. Oh yeah, hit Baconator. That's great. Seriously?
It's fine now.
Okay. There. And nicely, Meteo, not flectable. Goodbye.
No way.
No way. No way. So we did it. We've made it to the top. Kane is there, our totally traitorous friend, and Golbez. We're here to do a trade. And Tella's like, no way. I don't care about your business. I'm here for revenge.
I mean, he does say he's not honoring the trade anyway, but then,
Yeah. Even if he did, let's be clear.
That's why he's trade for us.
Get out. That was a good one. Tella's trying his best, but as you can see, so far, his best is simply not good enough. I mean, look at Golbez. He's impressive.
That is some pretty sweet armor.
It is. It's really cool.
I hope that when I finally get my own background music, it has some really sweet organ licks in it.
Yeah, right?
Can I pause over it?
Yes.
Then it's great. So everyone's like, no, don't use Meteo. You don't have enough MP, you'll die. And we're like, we did it twice. Third's the charm, right? Right?
Netara, you've done an admirable job reining in your tele-hate today, but...
I've been really good. Yes. I'm a known tele-hater, everybody.
This is also very important because it inspires his absolutely amazing card art in the upcoming MPG set.
I don't think I've actually seen his art.
It's really good. I got you after the run.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So yeah, he did it. He did 9-9. He did the quad 9. The world is saved. Oh wait, Golbez is like, no, that hurt, but I'm fine. Good luck, Tella. You did nothing.
You ever want to just shoe lighting out of your hands when you say ha?
Always.
Ha.
Literally every moment of every day.
See, this is why this game is important.
I'm going to jump in here real quick because there's a couple things that I want to
Oh, yeah,
talk to
absolutely.
folks about. We've been talking a lot about, trying to hit some certain goals. We hit the 80,000. That's
Yep.
great. We need to hit this goal here to fight Specchio in new form. We need a little over $900 to do that. But we also want to not only hit but surpass what we raised for the entirety of RPG Limit Break 2024, which was about $88,000 and change. So if we can get to 89,000, then we can get past what we did last year. And then if we get that close, then we could get to 90,000 and just keep going from there. So let's keep going here. Let's make this year better than the last. Get your donations in. We've got, as a note here, we have opened up the naming incentive for Isla. That was missing from before. If you would like to name Isla Chrono Trigger, that is now available for you as well. And we've got all kinds of different options here. So get your donations in, apply the incentives correctly, and let's keep raising money for the National Alliance on Mental Illness, folks.
Yeah, let's not just PB our runs, let's PB the entire event.
That's right.
We've got this. Yeah.
Anyway, Draves was saved by the Baconator.
Yeah. Mood. So we did it. We saved Rosa from an incredibly grisly fate.
Worse than the Japanese version of
Worse
the
than the
guillotine,
Japanese. Yeah, they had a blade there, and the censors back in the day were like, no, that's bad. That'll be too gruesome. So instead, they decided to try and kill her by huge crushing object. Definitely not worse. But that's okay, because now we have a definitely totally okay and our friend again, Dragoon and White Mage. We have to do some menuing here, get ready for this fight. This is one of the challenging ones. We got level 19 on Kane, though, which is what we needed. So that is going to make this much better. Kane is incredibly important to this fight. Valvalis is going to spin, and we need Kane to stop her jump. By making sure he is at level 19, though, means he will get more turns than he does at level 18.
And do more damage, more importantly.
And do more damage. It's quite noticeable. You know when you've got a level 18 Kane in this fight. We don't worry too much about curing everyone because a lot of the damage is either going to come out through weak or our physicals, which Baconator is going to automatically cover. So as long as we keep his HP up, generally speaking, we're going to be fine. We like that.
I don't love that, though.
Nope. We're going to have Rosa casting slow. We want to make Val just a bit slower so we can get more hits in, and so she hits us much less. We definitely don't like seeing Cecil in a critical position because he will not cover when he himself is critical. But we're doing pretty okay otherwise. Getting that nice cure too, so Cecil can keep taking hits.
Yeah, that was a safety one there. I didn't necessarily need that one to go off, but it is a marathon.
Marathon, yeah.
We also were pretty ahead of the damage because of those Kane shots.
Oh! Kane, we love you today. Thank you. Again, hitting that point in the fight where folks' jobs are done. We're just doing damage. Amazing! Very clean Val fight.
Inventory should also be correct for the glitch.
Excellent.
So we're all lined up there. We've got to get a yellow chocobo.
Yep.
Yep. So you're probably looking at our timer and looking at the estimate and seeing where we are in the game and be like, they're not even underground yet. They're not even underground yet. How are we almost done? Well, friends, we have been spending this entire run setting up for a really important glitch, which we're going to be doing in about the next 5-10 minutes. Last step, which we have to do in our setup now, is we have to go and redo that yellow chocobo that was unsuccessful earlier. Thankfully, step route, really not a concern anymore, and there's lots of chocobo forests around. So we're going to camp in front of one of those and, well, farm yellow chocobos until it works. But ideally, just get one and be done. So while we do that, though, hey, Vonnie, what's up?
Well, Vonnie, we got to cut off the Sid name pretty soon.
yeah.
How soon are we talking here?
Like now.
Now.
Now? Okay, well, that has been officially closed, but I do want to read off a couple donations here. We got $5 from Nitsguy1 that says, Fire Sword, it's a big fancy fire wand.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm upset.
I hear you love those.
Yeah, I do. Let's beat that Specchio incentive. We've got a $10 donation from Mr. Rez with no comment, but we also have a $35 donation from Chibi Scala that says, Specchio new form, go! And where we're at now with that is $2,160 out of the $3,000 that we need there. So we are inching ever closer. But again, the goal is to have it done by the end of this run, and that is not too long from now. So let's get that money in to fight Specchio in new form. You know you want to see it.
Vonnie, I need a Sid name.
You need a Sid name, huh?
Yep.
Sid's name is going to be PPMA, and I don't think I need to tell you how to capitalize that.
Do you know what that means?
Yeah, can you actually spell it for us? Oh, wait.
So we are at $2,160 out of the $3,000 we need to fight Specchio in new form.
I think it's after Power Punch my airship.
That's definitely it. Oh no, you've killed the host. We
That
need
one
that
good?
guy.
No,
Ooh, no, that didn't look good.
it's hard to tell without the correct
Yeah.
map,
That one looked
but
good
that might be okay.
because that was dead center.
But
So you're like, try it or not?
I would say yes, but if you want to do another one for safety.
All right, we're just going to leave it.
Oh God, we're trusting Netara. My God.
Yep.
Who did this?
it looked dead center, so
Yeah. We're going to do the VOD review later, and they're going to be like, Netara, how did you think that was safe?
So we dropped a safety save up there. So it doesn't-
Yep.
if things were read incorrectly by my commentators, it'll be okay.
Yeah, okay. We got it.
It would just mean that we go wildly overestimate.
It's fine. It's not like there's anything after us.
There's not?
No.
I thought we
We're the finale.
Oh, we are?
Yeah. Wait, no.
I thought that was last year.
That was last year.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right. You got it. Yeah, no, we don't want to miss Chrono Trigger.
Or delay Chrono.
Yeah, that's important. Quexel told me that if we're 2 over, he's just going to leave.
Oh. Sounds like him.
Yeah, absolutely. Rock throne, way open. Time to go underground.
I'm glad we have this, new advanced superpowered airship that Sid was keeping hidden from the Red Wings. Surely nothing will go wrong flying our new and improved extra nice airship.
I would just pilot it right into the middle of a giant firefight, personally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because now we're the good guys, but we're still very incompetent.
Oh, they're totally fine. This place also has lava, and our airship is made of wood. Little concerning.
Rivers, you're going to want to be able to concentrate while you're counting stairs.
I mean, you can talk whatever you say.
Okay.
I'm not going to respond to anything, though.
Well, I'm not going to
Counting.
talk to you. I'm going to talk to the folks that are listening
Yeah.
in chat here. I want to talk about the naming incentives for Chrono Trigger that are coming up here. Let's see here. Frog. In the lead is Kermie with $75. Right behind that is Jim with $60. And then there's LF Rog with $40. For Luca, we have Flame in the lead at $60, Wonder at $30, and Tori at $10. For Magus, we have El Magus, as much as we can fit it in there. That's in the lead at $40. Akira has $10, and Janice has $4. For Marl, we have Marley. That is in the lead with $50. Honey is behind with $10. And then for Robo, we have Taspot in the lead with $60. Tied with Ultra, who also has $60. Yama with $10, Rick with $8, and Gogo with 5. You can also name the epoch as well. Flare is in the lead with 60. Quasar has 20. Amiga has 5, and Atari has 5. I like that little theming there. So, if that's something that suits your fancy as far as what you would want to donate toward, instead of maybe the Fight Specchio in new form, which is now at $2,185 out of the $3,000 we need there, then you can do that as well. So, lots of options, folks. But make sure you get those in and apply those incentives properly using that incentives command in chat to see exactly what you're doing there.
$41, $42, $43, $44, $45, $46, $47, $48, $49, $50, $51, $52, $53, $54, $55, $56, $57, $58, $59, $60, $1, $2, $3.
So after all those jumps, the rest of the team decided the quick way to become competent is to stop skipping leg day, right?
That's right.
And they just jumped right into 63 flights of them. You're fine.
Speaking of jumping in, I got a few more donations that came in here.
Yeah.
We got a $10 donation. It's from someone who is anonymous, and they did not provide a comment, but thank you very much for that.
Bonnie, I've got an update for you quick.
Yes.
PPMA left.
Oh, yeah.
No,
That's too bad.
we needed them.
Dacker donates $25. No comment there, but thank you as well. And Rob Draven donates $10 and says, flaming rocks that fall from the sky? That's a lot like flaming balls that come from a forbidden fire rod.
You wouldn't know anything about
Wait,
that. would you?
hold up. It gets better here. Oh, Final Fantasy IV, inspired by Newtopia, confirmed.
Nice. Each of the boards getting a tick.
I love things that aren't true, but
Oh, did we not meet the Dance with the Calbrana incentive?
no, we didn't.
Oh, thank God.
You want to go for it?
No. These dolls are creepy. Look at them.
Dance, 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 dance. Jump!
Okay, so this fight is interesting because we are trying to prevent Calca and Brenna's joining together to make the big Calca Brenna form, the big doll. That gets triggers when there is only one of the dolls left. As long as you have one of each color left, you are fine. But if you fully eliminate a color, that's when it happens. So we are working hard to, and by we I mean Rivers, to kill them. So we are getting them down to just one, and then we'll immediately kill that one. So we're kind of killing blue, we're killing orange, we're killing blue, we're killing orange. We're muting our party because they just got really loud, and we're trying to focus.
I know, right?
This is actually a setup for, we go immediately into the next boss fight, and this brings up something which is I really enjoy in Final Fantasy IV, which is the status ailment priority chart. Now, in other games, they will some of the status ailments will just overwrite. It's whatever's most recent. But in Final Fantasy IV, there's a priority chart. And if you are afflicted by one of the status ailments, which is higher on the list than another, you will not get the new one. So we are muting our party because the next boss, Golbez, is going to try and paralyze the entire party. But mute higher than paralyze on the status ailment priority chart. Nice work.
That was an interesting one. That kick had a chance to fail. So
Oh, no.
yeah.
So Doll's done easy, but Golbez immediately shows up and going, no, I'm done standing on the sidelines. We're going to fight. And he tries to paralyze you and kill your friends. And we are trying to prevent the paralysis so we can do as much damage as possible. And ideally, getting Kane into the jump before they even try that. So, because we're going to have a lot of talking. And if we can get him up in advance, that is one less person that Golbez's Shadow Dragon will attempt to kill.
So the whole gas didn't do anything, as
Nope.
Netara was explaining.
Mute, much more important than hold gas. Mealtime, Shadow. Oh, hi. Bye. Bye. And you, Baconator.
Tasty.
This is the last. We know from experience that this is the last prompt before we're gonna action things. So we friend came in, got rid of the dragon. We got a good hit.
Needed it
Fire. Easy.
too. Needed it too with that weak Cecil roll.
Yeah.
The Baconator not causing much damage tonight.
Love it. So usually Rydia's supposed to show up there, but we just skipped her. We killed him way too quickly.
It did say best girl gained a level. Oh, hi.
Hey,
Oh,
there
yeah.
she is. So we found our last lost friend. She went into the underworld, and time flows differently there. So she's an adult now, and she's going to help us. She's like, no, I've been training. I'm ready to help you properly.
She is ready to hit things.
She is ready to hit things
He's
with...
ready to be burst.
Yeah.
For Mora's sake.
Yeah, we're going to do that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got set up?
Oh,
Got it.
definitely going to do that.
So Golbez is like, oh, you thought you killed me? I still got a hand. And so he's going to creepy crab walk away and steal our crystal.
We're very competent at being
So
good
good.
guys.
We were much better at being the bad guys.
Yeah, I guess I gave it to you on that one.
Yeah, can we go back to doing that?
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
I would. I really would like that. So we're like, hey, we came to protect your crystal and we lost it. Sorry. And they're like, it's okay. There's other ones. We can definitely save it. And we didn't like the color of our screen. So we've decided after all of this time, we're going to change it. This, as you guessed, is yet another step for our glitch. The glitch we're going into is going to be looking at a lot of different points for data, and so we're giving it controlled things. Also, did you know you could use warp in that castle and go into the sealed cave? So it warps you to the last floor you were on, which is a crystal room. But something about how they coded it, it's a crystal. Also, hello, this is totally normal. Don't worry about it. But welcome to the 64 floor glitch. Rivers did all of the floors. He did all of those stairs. They are really important. They're really important because in the programming of this game, they were like, yeah, we will increment every time you go up the stairs. But they did not choose to decrement whenever you go the opposite direction. So
Seven, aren't we?
they at no point considered the fact that someone might just go up and down the stairs a
We
whole
might be
bunch of
waiting.
time. Okay, good to know. So in doing that, we the breaking point is 64. So we got up to 63, went in, did some fights, and then when we didn't leave the room, we warped into another room. But when we left that room, that was a count of 64. The game went, oh my God, what is happening? And
this way.
looked into the data to try
I
and
count on my step route.
is it? Yeah, is it step route? Yeah. It looked in the data to see where we were going. Some of the things it looked at, item placement. What items? How many number of items were in that stack to get like X, Y, and Z coordinates not necessarily matching here. There's been a lot of exploration about what points bring you where. So we warped to the sealed cave. We already had that crystal. So we walked in, Kane betrayed us, and Edge joined us. Hi, Edge. So we don't name him because
I thought Yang just put on a bandana and a cape.
he did do that. Yeah, everyone's got a cosplay some days. So, and then we're like, no, that's not so good. We shifted one of our items around to change our location, and we went to the moon and got Fusuya, who, as you see, has a lot of spells.
Yeah.
So we're going to shuffle him around a bit, don't worry about it, and leave. Back we come, we're going to walk out. Each one of these, so we're going to have to go back through all 64 floors. So a lot of these floors that you're seeing are just, we're walking through, it's counting, we're doing things. It is checking different points, such as our black chocobo position, where the yellow chocobo left, ones which are coming up, our game time, how long we were in the load screen, and money.
And now we walk.
Now we walk. So while we're doing a bit of walking, hey Bonnie, sup?
Yeah, I got a few donations to read off here. We got $10 from Flurry, who says, love this category because we get to skip the hook route.
Yes, we do.
Thanks, Flurry.
Awesome. Good luck, Rivers, and let's go Mets.
Let's go Mets.
We have a $50 donation from X Pancraz, who says, this run rocks. You can count on it. Best of luck, and here's to more years of fun. And we have a $5 donation from Liban, who says, I love FF4. It's my favorite game of all time, and I love seeing it get ripped apart, too. Kick some butt, Rivers.
Okay, so we have routed this.
This is a normal room.
Yeah, this is a normal room. Depending on the item route we take, we don't necessarily end up in this room. But that room is excellent because it has a save point, and if our money route is, if we get there and the money is wrong, there is a shop so we can fix it. We're using tools from Aexoden's wonderful website, which
Made it.
you can put in the info and it'll tell. So that was important. Nice work.
Natara, do you want to talk about the game real quick?
Yeah. So we're going to start getting in. We're really in the end game here. We're just finishing it up. So, donators, we have a fun game for you to play. We lovingly call it the Medio game. We're going to have a special guest here with us shortly in a cutscene they do not belong in, and they're going to try and cast some magic, specifically Medio. And they're not going to do so well. So we would like you to donate with a value between, it's about $1,600 and $2,100. The closest person to that number, without going over its Price is Right rules, wins. So donate with that number. Get them in now. You got a couple minutes, and we'll get Vonnie to read some of those out and let us know who's the winner.
Final boss.
Oh no, we're in the final place. Weird. Oh, also, hey, PPMA, what's up?
What up?
You just left.
Hey, Vonnie. PPMA is back.
That's fantastic. I'm really glad to hear this.
Yeah, also,
Do you want to say PPMA again?
I can say PPMA, that's fine. I mean, I called it out, but
Okay.
But yeah, don't we have something going on here, like as far
Yeah.
as okay.
hey, did you know our engineer can cast spells now?
He's very good.
He's really good.
Watch him
He's-
cast White. It does 100 of damage.
It's real bad. Yeah, you did it! Woo! So this is not the fight. We still have one fight left.
Silly.
Silly. You should say Silly Billy. Yeah, you're doing it. See, that's a normal value. Did you know this is just the beginning?
Oh, I know.
Oh, how much is... Oh, cool.
Hey, we did it! Yeah.
I think we go over then.
But speaking of doing it, we're getting very close to meeting that Fighting Specchio in new form incentive.
nice.
We have 2,395 out of the 3,000 that we need in order to get that there. Remember, chat, the goal was to have this done by the end of this run. It's going to be coming up in just a few minutes. Let's make one more hard push. Let's get that done and just be over with it. Then you can get into all the naming incentives, all that good fun stuff, and we can really have a great time for our Chrono Trigger finale.
Hey, why is that guy wiggling?
Watch out, he's breakdancing.
Oh, he's
Oh,
on
no.
fire.
I hate when people do that.
Oh, no. Hey, doesn't your fire wand do that?
Will you just commentate the game, please?
I am! The boss is on fire!
All right, this is
It's-
the Medio moment here.
Okay, it's not this one, but we're about there.
I got $1,
Okay.
$1, Bob.
1778.
Okay, 1984.
1818.
Oh, 1818. Nice work.
I gotta say this right now. I'm looking at a donation from Sonny Wrath. It's $50 and it says 1812 medium.
Oh!
So incredible.
Nice
Wow.
work.
Me, comma, you fools.
Yeah. Our poor PPMA, not so good at media. Sorry, bud. But at least he lived. Wait.
Well, no.
Oh, darn.
All right, everyone. Fighting Specchio in new form, $2,551. We are getting closer. Less than $450 to go. Keep going.
That's so close.
One last push, people.
We can do it. Believe in the Medio. to fight Specchio.
You believe in the donors to get us there.
Come back alive, except for Specchio.
Why do you want to kill Specchio?
Oh, no, we're just fighting him.
Okay.
But it'll be a new, which is, you know, I think that's the form that really, really hurts you. It's really hard.
News do be like that.
That's music. So the strats for this fight are a lot. We have 4 characters who are severely underleveled. We are gonna have to. Thankfully, we have friends who are they're gonna bring them back. They're gonna give them to full health. But we are quite underleveled, so we're gonna have to make sure we throw the items we picked up. Sorry, audience. I know you're enthusiastic, but we can't hear.
Sorry, audience, I got to cut in 2,786
Oh!
for Fight Specchio in new form.
Do your
We're
best.
so
We are so close. Let's get there. Come on.
So we have a bit of tech we're actually doing here. If you keep running during this fight, you actually save about, 12 seconds?
12
seconds.
12 whole seconds, not even frames, seconds. You have lag when your characters are in critical with all the background going on. So if you're running, there's none of that happening, so the lag goes away.
PPMA, hold on to it.
What it is, I don't know.
No, but hold on to it.
Don't know if I want to hold on to it, to be honest with you.
Oh, hey, we know that guy.
He's in our party.
He's in our party.
Double Fusoya. It's a good seed.
Okay, you think you're ready for this fight?
Yeah, I've got it all squared away here.
Okay,
So what I'm going to do,
okay.
so I'm going to go into Fusoya's menu,
Yep,
go to the white magic,
yep. But he shook.
and I'm going to push up. Oops.
We'll try it next turn.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I'll have Radia figure this out.
Yeah, it's good.
Time.
Time.
So walking through the glitch enables us to put the enemy skill reaction into Fusoya's magic menu, and that spell removes every enemy from the battlefield, including Zeramus. He's not immune, so
Nope.
easy win.
Love it when it all comes together.
Folks, $2,961 for Fighting Specchio in new form. Just one more push.
Almost
Come on,
there.
let's go.
Do it for. Yeah. Okay. Anything you got here?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, RPG Limit Break. Second year in a row. Maybe a third year Final Fantasy IV in a row. Who knows?
Who knows?
There's some magic happening.
There is some
is.
magic happening.
Alrighty, thank you once again to riversmccown and crew for that wonderful Final Fantasy IV any percent no credits warp run. And before I get into anything else, I have to announce that we have done it! We will be fighting Specchio in new form, and that is in large part to some generosity from our friends at Dragon Roast Coffee. They have donated $220, and they said, this has been an amazing week of RPG greatness. Truly happy to sponsor such a wonderful group of folks. Great work on this FF4 run so far. Stay caffeinated. Also donating for Fight Specchio in new form, and that's exactly what we're getting. Tantrum Merch is excited to partner with RPG Limit Break for the first time to launch an exclusive merch collection supporting the National Alliance on Mental Illness. This lineup includes 8 unique shirt designs, including a replica of this year's 10th anniversary attendee shirt, as well as a cozy blanket, a sleek journal, an enamel pin, and a stainless steel water bottle, and an RPGLB cap, and more. Featuring bold graphics to heartfelt designs, $5 from every sale of these items goes directly to charity. You can explore the full collection now at tantrummerch.com/RPG limit break and help make a difference. Alrighty, folks, I know I did a donation in French before, and I'm about to attempt it again. This is a $240 donation from Le French Restream. And what they have to say is, Bonjour, bravo à toutes les personnes ayant participé de près ou de loin à ce RPG LB. Merci et bon fin de marathon. And what that means is bravo to everyone involved, near or far, from this RPG LB. GG for the Final Fantasy IV run. Thank you and good luck with the last run. Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup to all of our friends at Le French Restream. We definitely appreciate your generosity. And with that, we are going to go ahead and take a quick break. Why don't you go ahead and take a quick break yourselves, get a stretch, get a beverage, and get yourself hyped because we've got our finale of Chrono Trigger being run by Poexel coming up in just a few minutes. Stay tuned, folks. Welcome back to RPG Limit Break 2025, coming to you live from Denver, Colorado, as we are raising money for the National Alliance on Mental Illness. And speaking of that organization, we have our local rep here from NAMI. His name is Ray, and he's going to be having a little chat with a T-Tree and Cell Kuthmind about what he does here. So Tree, Cell, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Vani. As he mentioned, my name is Atitri, and I am here with Selkooth Mind and Ray from NAMI. How are you each doing today?
Doing great. Love being here.
Fantastic. Very glad to hear that. Yeah, first off, now that you've had a chance to see some of what RPG Limit Break is about as we were getting up here, set up here, what do you think?
The wow factor has not stopped for me. I keep, my son, who is a computer scientist on the East Coast, I keep sending him screenshots, I keep sending him website, and I said, you just got to share this because it is grassroots charity and grassroots gaming at its finest. I just have loved being a part of it already.
Yeah, there's something very special to how Limit Break has been able to expand and offer more opportunities to people like Sel and I to do this with you here today, but also really keep that homespun feel, the very personal feeling, which makes a lot of sense when you think about what we're raising money for. You know, I know you had the opportunity to tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into this. If you want to reiterate any of that for anybody who wasn't here to join us during the pre-show, like myself.
Yeah,
I actually had the fortune to watch it later.
I appreciate you asking, and I think the story for all of us kind of has its different iterations, and you wonder, why am I in this work that is so tough sometimes? And the answer is because it's so tough sometimes. If I'm not doing the work, then there's a lot of people out there that aren't getting connected to the resources that we're capable of sharing with them. And so for me, that feels the blessing of being able to wake up in the morning, have a job that I truly know makes a difference, and in space that for too long we weren't talking about it. It was a quiet secret that people weren't willing to talk about it. And there's still people in the LGBTQ community, there's still people in the Black community, the Latino community that don't feel comfortable talking about it. So our goal is help them get out to the resources that they feel comfortable with.
Yeah, that's especially the end of that sentence there is so underspoken. For anybody that looks and sounds like us and the troubles that we have accessing even our own comfort to reach out for those resources, for everyone else, it's just that much more difficult and the need is that much more profound. Speaking of a profound need that it sounds like you are making great effort to help meet, I wanted to talk a little bit about how you're working to empower the next generation of advocates through NAMI Next Gen. You spoke a little bit about that during the pre-show, but do you have any information about like how that's going? Is that still in like pre-planning to the point where that's, you know, we want to do this, we're looking for input from those advocates who are interested in as far as what shape it'll take?
Always looking for input from Next Gen. And the example is we can either go to people that read the book or go to people that write the book. Well, the people that are writing the book of Next Gen are the Next Gen folks themselves, not scientists, not previous nonprofit executives like me. And so we want to do focus groups. We want to go onto our NAMI on campus and we want to hear from individuals. So when I go and I present to a graduate school class of graduate psychology or social work, I want to know why are they going into this field? What difference do they want to make? Who do they want to impact? And from that's where we're beginning to build the programs. So having not support groups for the Black community, but just community conversations. That's one of the things we hear, is we want to create a community conversation that if we're comfortable talking about faith, we're going to do that. If we're comfortable talking about poetry, we're going to do that. And so take this community as a whole. You're comfortable with one another because you speak a similar language. And so being able to create a mental health wellness group that's also tied to the people that have the shared space. That's really important. So that's what we're doing with NAMI on campuses as far south as Pueblo, Colorado, and as far west as the Western Slope.
That's really terrific. And the tie back into the idea of making the service something that looks and sounds like the people who need it is, that's wonderful.
It's authentic, right? Absolutely. This is we don't want any manufactured mental health resources out here.
Do you see the opportunity for that sort of change in approach, or maybe just a change in perspective, to feed back into the services that NAMI provides and has been providing?
Yeah, look at what we're doing right now, right? There weren't podcasts in the mental health space 2 years ago, right? But I think between COVID and the acceleration of people being able to podcast, whether it's from a library studio or from their home, is can we create, so here in Colorado we have something called Nobody's Perfect. And you can get onto the Nobody's Perfect podcast and listen to it. And what we've seen is the number of parents that are beginning to listen to it to better understand what their children or their children's friends are going through is a really invaluable thing. So that's worked. Like, how can technology help us reach more people in a faster way? But then flip that and say, Colorado, 300 days of sunshine, What about nature hikes? What about getting out there with the community and creating a hike club that actually allows you to have conversations while you're outside in that safe space?
It's wonderful.
Yeah, indeed. Sort of speaking of unique ways of raising awareness and connecting, obviously an event like this is very unusual. It's your first time working with us. So I'm curious, did you have any impressions of Limit Break before you started working with us? And have you had a chance to watch any of the events so far?
Well, I could date myself by saying, you know, how many decades ago I was watching Zelda in its very early iterations, right? And so being able to see just the industry change over time, and that we have the capacity to have real-time chats with incentives, the ability to showcase some of the well-known stars and a rising up-and-comer in that space. That's what I've loved all week, is some of these people that I just met early on that I know they exist already, and then these new folks that have just arrived, and this might be their first time, but watching the community on the chat in particular, everyone's feeling like they're a part of this, whether they're in the room or not. But I love having the folks in the other room. Also, this live atmosphere. So this combined between live and online together, the hybrid really works for me.
Just another piece of that connective tissue between new
That's
and
it.
old. You know,
That's
you're
right.
watching people play a game from your childhood, and yet you are actively participating. You're getting in your donations for damage rolls, and it's a really wonderful way to be involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of our larger community, we've had some questions come in from the community. We can jump
Fire
into
away,
those.
please.
So we had some who had questions about what resources would you recommend for those who have a need for mental health services, but maybe insurance is a problem, or maybe, you know, they live in a place where there isn't good access to resources. What resources are you aware of that would be effective potentially or available for those people?
So let me start with 988, because it is across the entire country. Think of 911. We all took it when we had babysitting classes and know that's a medical emergency. 988, we tell people, even if you're not in crisis, start with that, because the 988 call services in your community know where to direct you. If you were to call 988 in Colorado, not officially in crisis, but needed services, one of the things we're going to connect you to are the community behavioral health centers. So almost in every pocket of a state, there's a community behavioral health center that doesn't ask you, do you or don't you have insurance? They ask you, tell us what your insurance is, and if you don't have any, here's what we're going to do. We're going to help you navigate it. So community behavioral health services are a great one throughout the country. And then the other is go to NAMI.org. There's a lot of self-care resources. There's a lot of shared space. There's a lot of all of our resources are free. You can get on a peer support connections group. You can take a class called peer-to-peer. So we've got a lot of free resources. So NAMI.org, or in our case, NAMIColorado.org.
Awesome. That's a wealth of resources for
I
sure.
feel it.
And so my understanding is NAMI, of course, is national, but there's also local branches. And I believe that the donations here at Limit Break will be split between those two.
Right,
Can you
that's
speak
right.
a little bit more to that for folks who might be wondering?
Yeah, so let's take the 75-25 split that's going to go on. NAMI National, so let's just use a nice round figure of $100,000, right? NAMI National is going to get $75,000 of that. That then allows them to make, as we were talking about, next-gen grants throughout the country. So then our 600 affiliates can apply for a NAMI next-gen grant of $2,500 or $5,000. NAMI National will send that out, and we can make that community build up a NAMI Next Gen using that 2,500. So that may be incentives to buy pizza and get people to attend the events and give gift cards away if someone wants to take the training. In our case with NAMI Colorado, we take that 25,000. We operate 5 days a week, a NAMI helpline and a NAMI law line. If you need a connection to a lawyer, we'll connect you at no cost to a guardianship lawyer, to a family lawyer, to housing law, to criminal justice law. And that's at no cost to the community. So that's because we can use those dollars to pay our helpline answering folks who have been trained and actually know how to handle that. So stipends for the people answering our helpline and law line, stipend for our trainers, stipends for the NAMI Next Gen to actually take some of the classes in that kind of space. So it dribbles all 100% of what is donated today and the rest of the week will go directly back into a community. And wherever you are, I guarantee you there's a NAMI affiliate that's going to use those dollars.
Okay. We had lots of questions from the community that are, to let you speak to NAMI's mission and credit and testament to the Limit Break community's empathy and just interest in the people who are involved with us.
For sure.
There were also a number of questions for you. Talk about who you are
Yeah.
and how that interfaces with your work. So one question we had was, what keeps you going with the work that you do? How do you stay engaged and encouraged when you're dealing with particularly stressful situations?
I love the question, and one I will use. I don't know if I think it does get where. There it is. It is simply a strip that's got a nice texture to it, but it actually has all 5 senses on it. And so when I'm really stressed, all of a sudden, here I've got my emotional support water bottle, and I recognize that, wow, what are 5 things I see? What are 4 things I hear? What are 3 things I actually can touch? What are 2 things I can smell and 1 thing that I can taste? That's already grounded me in that space. But it also creates an appreciation, right? If I'm saying I see nature, I see someone walking their dog. So you kind of get into the space of realizing how lucky I am. That's one of it. Who am I? I'm a dad of 3. I'm a spouse of a breast cancer survivor that's more than 10 years out from her cancer. I myself averted a massive heart attack over 7 years ago by getting a stent. And so there's a level of gratitude that I wake up with, that I feel, how lucky am I not only to be here and to be raising a family that's giving back to the community, but I also get to work for a nonprofit community that truly cares about everyone. I love living in Colorado. I love that we are as an inclusive community as we possibly can be, and we're kind of setting the examples for other states. And I hear that from other NAMI executive directors. How are you doing that? How have you ramped up that program so quickly? So, yeah.
I'll take a related question on this, which is for people who really respect the work that NAMI does, for whom it has helped them. If there was somebody who was interested in getting into that line of work, what would you recommend for them?
Start with volunteering. I mean, we know statistically that when you volunteer, you're going to connect with other individuals, so creating community is a really good thing for your mental health. But also, you're not jumping into a job that then you discover is, oh my God, I'm not so interested in this. Just with a few community volunteer hours, you can learn what part of that organization you're really interested in. Is it marketing and communications? Is it fundraising? Is it answering the helpline? And then we can help you, especially in the NAMI community. A lot of these jobs are advertised virtually. I have a NAMI Colorado employee that lives in Richmond, Virginia. And so she's our data analyst. She's the one that brings in all the data and records it, so I then can go apply for grants and something like that. So you certainly can reach out to info@namicolorado.org if you have an interest. And if you want to look within your own state, we can help you, connect you to resources there for sure.
Terrific.
Yeah, something I'm curious about. So I'm from Canada.
Yep.
And NAMI, obviously, we've got the national branch here, but I understand that there is a little bit of an international element for the viewers at home who are maybe not in the U.S. Could you speak to some of the international components?
Yeah, and I think, right, we don't draw borders with mental health.
Yeah.
And so I think this ability to understand that if I have anxiety because I'm a student who's studying abroad, and I don't speak the language as well as so many other people here, I want to get on a Zoom connection support group. Great. As long as you're willing, if it's 2 a.m. there and it's 7 p.m. here, that's your choice, but we've got it, and we'll connect you. So the virtual communities have been able to say is, let's find one that works for a day and a time that works for you. And so we have our virtual family-to-family classes, our virtual peer-to-peer classes, our family support groups, our peer support groups, all that kind of space. And so I think that ability to be able to say, I'm struggling, it's okay to not be okay, where do I actually turn? And we know this, internet domain names work no matter where you are, so long as you have internet access. And I tell people all the time, if you don't have internet access, go to the local library. Right? Let's remind ourselves of one of the resources that still exists for us. And so the reminder that there should never be a barrier to actually getting the mental health resources. We'll keep doing that.
Yeah, libraries are an amazing location for just a variety of resources. Right. I talk to friends in, this kind of community all the time who say, oh yeah, no, I played that. I rented that game from my local library.
Absolutely.
They have lending libraries of all sorts of things.
There's a sound studio at our central library here in Denver that you can actually go in at no cost, record a song, and then go ahead and put it out there and hope you get an EP contract out of the deal, right?
That's tremendous. Or, if nothing else, that's another form of therapy. Being able to express, express.
It is one of the things I love about this community, right? I've already talked to you about music. We've talked about the art that has been the RPG community that's created some of the T-shirts and the logos and the looks and things like that. art therapy, music therapy, nature therapy, pet therapy, all of these
Or
kind
for
of spaces.
you, coffee
For me,
therapy?
this is it. I've got it. This is to support, right? You're supporting your local, but you're also supporting in this kind of space. You're supporting NAMI. So we're always grateful. And I think whenever we have Mental Health Awareness Month, which it is still through the rest of May, this ability to see local communities come together and say, you know what, for every coffee that we sell, you're going to get $1. And I'm like, let's do that year round, because we don't discriminate. Oh, it's only May, so that's the only time we're going to raise money. I love that RPG is doing this in May, but we're going to be talking about you guys year round and building up for next year.
Well, speaking of that, obviously we've been working with NAMI for 10 years here
Yeah.
at RPG Limit Break. We're here in Colorado for the first time, so, new rep, all of that stuff. But looking forward, what are your hopes for how Limit Break and NAMI can work together in the future?
I would love to kind of figure out, right, we were talking about the Nobody's Perfect podcast. So we say, all right, 2 months from now, can we get someone from the RPG community onto that podcast and talking about why being a part of a gaming community is so good for their mental health and what they're encouraging. Talking about how you can actually get registered to become a part of the RPG community, because there's a lot of people out there that may not know about you that would feel like, oh my gosh, what a great community for me.
Yeah,
so I think
or
we
just out there watching,
That's it.
which is tremendously valuable. But
Yeah.
if you want to be involved, we are bringing you in.
So I think we just have to remind ourselves, what can we do in July? What can we do in October during Mental Illness Awareness Month or something like that? And that's kind of, okay, we're getting closer to that May, but let's just keep the connection going, because it's about, I was talking with my son, I said, give me some talking points for today. And he said, well, it's community, because it's communications and it's unity. And when you combine them, you get community. I'm like, that's it. So let's just keep building community.
Yeah, I love that. I love
Smart
that.
kid.
Yes, he is. Said he's a computer scientist, right?
And you mentioned it that way. We could also see potentially the other way around. If somebody from NAMI wanted to join us, RPG Limit Break has a regular content series called Random Encounter that sometimes is focused on showing off games and members of the community, but sometimes is just us on the content team funning around.
All right.
We'd love the opportunity to speak to somebody from NAMI.
That's
to
it. We've
keep
created
that
our
message
verbal
in mind.
partnership right here.
Perfect. There we
That's
go.
real. I love that.
I got two more things for you,
Please.
real quick.
Yeah.
One, this is a fun one for
Yep.
you. If you could have an RPG Limit Break username that the community could know you by, what would that be?
So I was a graduate student at University of Florida, and people started calling me Raidergade, and I love it. I'm like, especially for me, right? You can see I'm high energy, but sometimes I don't. So I love getting a username that's kind of tied to an energy drink. So without
like
any
it.
project promotion,
Right.
let's use Raidergade.
Okay. And one more. This one's a bit open-ended, but whatever you want to bring to it. Do you have a message you'd like to give to the RPG Limit Break community, both here and at home?
Thank you, first of all, is literally to watch that ticker of the dollars being raised, but the willingness to actually push that button and make that donation, that's a thank you. Alongside the thank you would be, keep doing what you're doing, because what I do see is people that care for one another, people that want to be together, and people that realize the strength in numbers. And if we just, there's that quote from Wonder, the movie Wonder, that says, if you have the option of choosing between being right and being kind, choose kind.
Every
you guys
time.
choose kind all the time. So keep choosing kind.
Well, Ray, Sel, thank you for being so kind as to donate your time and energy to being here with us today. We appreciate you very much, and we appreciate all of you out there at home for continuing to give your time and donations to NAMI and to RPG Limit Break. Stay tuned. We have more content coming up for you very, very soon.
Great. Thanks, guys.
All righty. Thank you very much, T-Tree and Sel Kuthbein, for that fantastic interview. Can we get another big shout out and a whole bunch of applause here for Ray, our representative from NAMI? With us being our first year here in Denver, Colorado, to meet him for the first time and have him be involved in what we're doing, I think he's wonderful, and we really appreciate everything that he's going to be doing for us here. Alrighty, folks, my time at the hosting desk for RPG Limit Break 2025 has sadly come to an end for the year. But That's okay. Couple reasons. First of all, you're going to see me during the finale. After Chrono Trigger's done, I'll be wishing you all a fond farewell as we wrap up RPG Limit Break 2025. But also because this chair is going to be filled by Selkuth Mind, who is an absolutely fantastic host, and I know is going to bring it in a major way for this final run of our event. So everybody, thank you so much for watching. We got one great run left. Make sure you keep donating, keep pushing. Let's break last year's total. And until I see you in a few hours, take care, everyone.
RPG Limit Break, how are you doing? Are you ready for the finale? All right, I'm Selkuth Mind, or Sel for short, and I am so excited to be here with you for this incredible finale. Oh, I am so excited, very nervous as well, but it's a good thing because you are all here with me. We have some wonderful donations. I'd like to read just a couple of them, including $25 from Togagut. Thank you, RPGLB and Le French Restream. Keep up the good work. See you next time. Again, shout out to Le French Restream and Japanese Restream, our two other language restreams who were helping us throughout the entire event, bringing this event to an international audience. Thank you both so much for being involved with us here. And we have $25 from Dakra. So excited to be able to catch RPGLB live and actually donate. Best of luck, less than 3. Indeed, it's been so exciting being here. Those of you who are in the room, have you had a great event? I know I've had a fantastic time being here. Chat, how about you? In chat, tell me, have you had a great time? I will be reading you, keeping an eye on you as well. But we'll be ready for our run in just a minute. Don't go away. The finale is coming right up.